This is a production of Hockey Night in Oswego. Only on WTOP.
Good evening. We welcome you into the Deborah F. Stanley Ice Arena for a highly anticipated showdown between the number 3 seed at Cortland Red Dragons and the number 2 seed at Oswego State Lakers. Lexi Levy and the Lakers look to move into first place in the SUNY right before postseason hockey, and the Red Dragons look to pick up some much-needed momentum going into the most important part of the season. Luke Belanger alongside Jason Samsell and Madeline Cummings. Guys, how are we doing today?
Doing great, yeah. Doing awesome.
Yeah, I'm doing really well. I've been waiting for this game all week. I'm so excited to see how these players play out on the ice tonight.
Yeah, and listen, we're going to talk a lot in the show about finishing the season on a high note, and as a broadcaster, I can't think of a better game to end the regular season on than this game tonight. Cortland Oswego, two juggernauts in the SUNY, not just in the SUNY, but these are two top 10 teams in the country. And listen, you're going to see tonight the best that the SUNY has to offer in terms of talent, and I can't wait.
Yeah, so let's get right into the matchup preview. Two very good teams in a very, very important game. Madeline, what do you see tonight?
Yeah, I think it's so important to go back and look at the history of these two teams going head-to-head. They've been playing each other since 1977, and this game will mark the 60th time that these two teams have played each other. The last time these two teams went head-to-head was last November, and it was a Laker win 4-1. Throughout these 60 games, the Lakers have won 29 times, the Red Dragons have won 18, and there have been 12 ties.
12 ties. That's interesting to hear. Jason,
Yeah,
how about you?
no, in terms of the offense, when you look at the stats of these two teams in the SUNY, two numbers stand out, 1 and 2. As a team, Oswego leads in goals scored with 83. Cortland is second with 77. In terms of assists, these two teams are tied in first place with 127. And when you look at the players, it's a similar situation. Oswego's Mac Hall leads in points at 22. Cortland's Kayla Persinger and Drew Kopic are second with 20. Goals scored, it's a four-way tie for first place with Kopic, Fanny and Byrne, and Katie Mahomey for the Red Dragons, also tied for first place. Mac Hall for the Lakers, and finally in assists, it's a tie for first place with both Rachel Corbett for Oswego and Pressinger for Cortland with 15.
Wow. So, bad news, guys. This is actually the last game in the Dev for the season. Jason, they've done so well at home, haven't they?
Yeah, they've done incredibly well here. You can't find a loss that they've taken this season at home. That's just the impact of home court here, the home court advantage you have playing in Deborah F. Stanley Arena, and Oswego's just been incredible.
Yeah, and I think if you look back at the last 6 matchups, the last 6 times that these two teams have played, out of the 2 Oswego home games, Oswego has won both of them, and that'll come into play later with our score predictions.
The fans have a big part. The fans have a big part here in Oswego. So last time out, we'll go into our last time out. Madeline, great weekend for Oswego last weekend. 2 games. What happened?
Yeah, not only a great weekend, but a great streak. The Lakers are coming off of a 9-game win streak, which is absolutely huge for them. It is all about momentum. I can't emphasize it enough. Momentum. And last weekend, they won twice against SUNY Morrisville, 4-0 and then 3-2.
And Jason, Cortland, pretty good, decent weekend for them as well.
Yeah, it was an interesting one to say the least for Cortland. They started the weekend on Friday against Potsdam, and it was a lockdown defensively after this first period. Game went all the way to shootout, in which the Red Dragons would win thanks to Katie Mahomey. Then the next day, Cortland would dominate against the Bears. Katie Mahomey had 2 goals for the day for the Red Dragons. They would win 5-0.
Yeah, it was a good weekend for both teams. Well, puck drop is inching closer. We will go to a break. When we come back, though, we have some SUNY standings and playoff implications for you. Don't go anywhere. Hockey Night in Oswego, only here on WTOP 10.
Welcome back to Major Discussions.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
Hockey night in Oswego right here on WTOP 10. Luke Belanger, Jason Samsel, and Madeline Cummings. So very excited for this matchup, guys. It's going to be a fun one. So around the SUNYAC, we'll go into, let's widen our lens a little bit. Madeline, Buff State traveling to Potsdam.
Yeah, so the game was at 3 p.m. today. It is now over, and it was a crazy game. I didn't have the opportunity to watch, but I'm just looking at these stats, and it was crazy. It was a tie, three points for Buff State and 3 points for Potsdam. There were no goals in the first period, and then in the second period, there were 3 Potsdam goals, 1 Buff State goal, and then Buff State made a comeback in the third period with 2 more goals. And they went into a shootout. So first overtime, no goals. Second overtime, no goals. They went into a shootout, and then Potsdam won the shootout.
Wow, that sounds like a fun one. I mean, it just goes to show SUNYAC hockey for you. I mean, it's just been great all year, and especially this matchup that we're going to see today is great. But Jason, Morrisville at Canton today as well.
Yeah, it was a great game there as well. Canton over Morrisville. They won it 3-1, and it was another early game as well. And Canton's a decent team, man, and they right in the middle of the pack of the SUNYAC, but a nice win for them, and hopefully they can close it out tomorrow as well. Yeah,
so I mean, if we take a look around the SUNYAC, Oswego is now in first over Plattsburgh. So Cortland is going to be third today, and Canton fourth, Morrisville fifth, Buffalo State sixth, and Potsdam seventh. So Oswego and Cortland, it's just a great matchup. I mean, a lot of implications. Oswego looking to keep this #1 seed. What do you guys see on that?
Yeah, well, for Oswego, if they win here tonight, they clinch the #1 seed in the SUNYAC because Plattsburgh is out of games. They've already played. They finished out their regular season. And for Cortland, if they're able to win out against Oswego, I believe they would take the first place in the SUNYAC standings.
Yeah, a lot of really big games for the SUNYACs at this point, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where the playoffs take these teams.
Yeah, talking about playoffs, is there any teams that you guys think are going to come out of it? Do you guys have your pick set or not yet?
You know, I might be biased. I am here standing in the Deborah F. Stanley Ice Arena, but I really think that this is going to be a great season for the Lakers. It has been so far. They've been absolutely crushing it. They're in first place right now. I can't help but say the Lakers are going to take this one.
Yeah, historic season for the Lakers. Most wins in program history, but I really like this Cortland Red Dragon team. I think they're a dark horse in the SUNYAC, and they're defending champs.
Yeah.
Really good team.
I think it's going to be a great playoff. I cannot wait to see it. But first, we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we'll hear from our sideline reporter, Michelle Smith, and take you up into the press box. It's Hockey Night in Oswego, right here on WTOP 10.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
The Kinda Late Show with Chloe and Anna. Like licorice, Twizzlers, absolutely nasty. The thought of turkey is just nauseating.
I think you're wrong, is what I think.
You think I'm wrong a lot of times.
I do think you're wrong a lot.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
keys down, Kevin.
But I'm going to drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely going to call a ride home.
We welcome you back to the Perch. Madeline, Jason, having a great time with you guys, but I think there's room for a couple more. Our very own Michelle Smith is down by the ice. Michelle?
Absolutely. With the regular season coming to an end, it's all eyes on the SUNYAC standings. If Oswego ends up in that first seed, they're in a prime position to bring the SUNYAC first round semifinals back here to the Deborah F. Stanley Arena in SUNY Oswego. The Oswego record is currently 14-1-1. They have 29 points, and they're tied for second place with Plattsburgh in the standings. Canton and Morrisville are still looking to clinch with one spot left to take, so that would be that 4 seed. They played each other today and play again tomorrow in their last games of the season. Oswego and Cortland face off again tomorrow afternoon at Cortland's Arena for their last games of the regular season. And the number 1 spot plays the 4 seed in the first semifinal game on March 1st, as I said, at the Seeds home arena. I'm going to toss it back up to the press box for Rob and Matt on their opinions on tonight's game.
In the Steve Levy press box right here at the Deborah F. Stanley Arena. And boy, oh boy, what a game we have in front of us here, especially going into the SUNYAC Championship. Last 2 games, both of them against the Cortland Red Dragons for this women's hockey team. What a matchup this is going to be here, Matt.
Absolutely. I think it may even be the most highly anticipated matchup that the Lakers have had all season long, Rob. We're seeing the number 1 seeded team in the SUNYAC division facing number 3. They've faced before. Not many people remember this, but last year during the SUNYAC tournament, it was actually Cortland that knocked out Oswego last season. So it's going to be nice to see if Cortland has an answer for their last performance against the Lakers, where they ultimately ended up losing in a blowout of a match, and to see if they're able to hold their status as they did last season against the Lakers.
Absolutely is. This one, like Michelle said, it matters a lot for the SUNYAC standings. If they win this one, they will secure their first place, and they will be playing the team that is going to be in the number 4 spot in the SUNYAC, which most likely is going to be the Morrisville State Mustangs, a team that they beat twice over just last weekend. I believe the first game was 4-0, and then the second game, which actually came down to the wire, believe it or not, because of 2 power play goals from the Morrisville State Mustangs. 3-2 was the final of that, which actually gave the Oswego State Lakers the record for the most regular season wins in the 28 seasons that they've been competing here in SUNYAC women's hockey. So we'll go now into a little bit of a goaltending comparison here, as we'll start off for the Cortland Red Dragons. Molly Gorgon, she came into the Deborah F. Stanley Arena back on November 22nd, and she comes in today with a .949 in terms of save percentage and a GAA of 1.12, so very good stats, especially when compared to Lexi Levy right to her side. But last time she was in this building, it wasn't a good game. She gave up 4 goals on just 22 shots, and she had to be taken out early in the 3rd period and replaced by number 33, Olivia Lumpies, for the rest of that game. And that one ultimately went the Oswego Lakers' way. They won 4-1 in that particular contest. But Lexi Levy on the other side as well. This is going to be a heck of a goalie matchup here.
Yeah, it definitely can feel the tension almost, Rob, when you enter this building. But Lexi Levy, on the other hand, has been phenomenal all season long. Not to take anything away from Molly Gorgon herself, but we're looking at a career season right here, right now. She just set the Lakers record for most shutouts in a season at 8 this season. She's averaging just short of 96% in her save percentage as well, and averaging about 1.12 goals allowed as well. So definitely both goaltenders just having a phenomenal year overall, but definitely the nudge goes to Levy on this one, especially after their last matchup here in this building.
Absolutely. It was perfection on the Friday, but not quite on the Saturday for Lexi Levy. But now we'll go into some keys of the game for both of the teams. I'll start with my keys for Cortland right here. So key number one for the Cortland Red Dragons today is support your goalie. Like I said in that last time out, Molly Gorgon did not have a very good game here in the Deborah F. Stanley Arena, so their defense are really going to have to get those rebounds away from her, get them to the wall, get them behind the net, just get them out of the vicinity of both the crease and the low slot as well. As we know, the Oswego State Lakers are a very, very, very high-scoring team. Key number two, use the rush. The rush is something that the Oswego State Lakers have not been able to cope with for much of this season, especially when a team is able to use it to their advantage against the Oswego State Lakers. Most of the goals that have come against the Lakers have come from on the rush, and not necessarily when you're set up in the zone and passing it around and trying to make the goalie move, because Lexi Levy is too fast for that. You have to essentially surprise her. And that leads into key number three as well, bodies in front. And what I mean by that is get in front of Lexi Levy. You're going to have to make her time here a real hard time if you want to get any goals behind her in this game here. Because Lexi Levy is that sort of goalie where if she has eyes, she is unstoppable. So somebody's got to get right in front of Lexi Levy, take her eyes away, make her job a little bit harder in this game. And fortunately for you might be able to put some behind her.
Unstoppable indeed, and that actually leads perfectly into my keys for the Oswego Lakers in tonight's game. I definitely think the number one thing for them is to control the circle, and when I say that, I mean the face-off circle, Rob. All season long, the Lakers have been dominating in the face-off circle. They, on average, at least allow or win by 6 or more face-offs. We saw it in the last game they had against Morrisville, a bit of a closer match. They ended up having a different differential on that face-off circle. So if they're able to dominate the face-offs, they'll be able to get the puck rolling for them, be able to get plays in motion. Leads into my second key of get shots on net. When they outshoot opponents this season, it's 35-26, 9 whole total shots on net, and that leads to more opportunities as they average 2.5 more goals than their opponents as well. So when they're in transition and they're working on fast breaks, getting shots on net, that means the puck's going to go in the back of the net at the end of the day, Rob. And that leads perfectly into my final key. Great minds think alike. Got to protect the net. Got to support your goalkeeper. We're talking about two of the best goalies in the SUNYAC division. And when Lexi Levy's playing on her A game, the Lakers are playing on their A game as well, Rob. She has that 96 save percentage that we spoke about earlier, only allowing about 1.13 shots in every single game on average this season. And she's got 8 of those shutouts to speak for it as well. So it'd be nice to see she can notch on number 9 tonight. Absolutely.
Lexi Levy coming into this building, looking to extend her lead, extend her record in a game like this where something like that is very much possible. She only let up 1 goal in their previous matchup back in November, so she'll look to improve on that, make it a perfect sheet in a game like this where first place is very much on the line for the Oswego State Lakers. Don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. We'll send it back to a break here. We'll send it back to the perch for your favorite, the picks of the game, and the predictions for the score. You're watching Oswego State Lakers women's hockey right here on WTOP 10.
Jill told me it was Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
It's Al Roker.
We're here for you, we're here for you. This is your channel 2. With sports and news and what to do, we're here for you. It's your TV, you're watching WTOP. Your TV, thanks for watching WTOP.
What's going on?
Yeah, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa.
You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow. Get a close up of that one.
Matthew,
Fast news.
look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
Hockey night in Oswego. It's going to be a great one. The Red Hot Lakers taking on the Cortland Red Dragons in a big SUNYAC matchup. You can almost smell playoffs in the depth today. Luke Belanger here with you. Madeline Cummins and Jason Samsell to my left. Such a big game for both teams. Someone is going to have to stand out in this one. Jason, for Cortland, who do you think will do so?
Yeah, my player to watch out for tonight for Cortland is number 29 defenseman Kayla Persinger. And Kayla is not only a disruptor in the defensive zone, but she's a playmaker for this Red Dragon team. We saw in the Red Dragons last series against Potsdam, she had 3 assists and just had pinpoint precision on her passes, and that's been the story for her all season. And as she leads the SUNYAC with assists with 15, and I expect her to be huge here tonight.
Yeah, and Madeline, how about you?
Yeah, I am going to be watching Oswego, number 19, Jenna Majewski. She's one of those players that I'm always watching on the ice. She's a sophomore. She's scored 22 goal points this season so far, 7 goals, 9 assists, and she's just such a powerhouse on the ice. She's aggressive. She wants it. I don't know if anyone on that ice wants it more than she does.
Yeah. And Madeline, for Oswego, is there someone out that stands out to you for Oswego?
Cortland?
For Cortland, my apologies. For Cortland, yes.
No, that was me. That was me. Well, for Cortland,
yes.
I will be watching number 1, Molly Gorgon. I got him switched up, but she's their goalie. She is a senior. She has a .949 save percentage. She is also the number 2 goalie in the SUNYAC right now, and she's one of the SUNYAC's goalies of the week. So I'm excited to see what the saves that she'll make tonight.
It's gonna be a great one. And Jason, what about yourself?
Yeah, for Oswego, my player to watch out for is Rachel Corbett. I love playmakers, and that is really we're going to be the deciding factor here tonight. And Rachel Corbett, if you saw last game against Morrisville, she was all over the ice, had 2 blocks on a defensive zone, had a goal and assist as well. Rachel is just a playmaker, period.
Yeah. Well, it's time, guys. It's inevitable. We have to pick a winner. Jason, who takes it?
It's tough. I mean, these two teams are evenly strength. I think I'm going to go with Cortland 3-2.
Cortland 3-2.
Upset.
So close one.
Yes, very close.
Gotcha.
You know, again, I might be biased because I am here standing in Oswego's ice arena, but I think it's going to be Oswego 4-2. I think it's going to be a close game. I think both of the teams are going to put up great fights, but I think Oswego's going to take home that victory.
Right. So Oswego, Cortland. Personally, again, biasness can play a factor. I honestly think Oswego has just been too good all year. The 1 seed on the line for them, I mean, they want to clinch this 1 seed going into playoffs. That means home for the first round. Give me the Lakers 5-1. I think they shock the world tonight. I think they come out. It's going to be a close matchup. I think they do it.
5-1 is not close at all. I think it's going to be much closer than that. I really do. I
think Oswego can shock the world here tonight.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, it's going to be a good game here tonight. I mean, both teams are so evenly matched, even strength here, and it just can't be overstated how close these two teams are in terms of their skill set.
Right. So last regular season game for the Lakers, do you guys have a player that sticks out as like an MVP for the season or anything?
You know, my MVP is going to be number 27. She's a sophomore, Miss Tilly Pethrick. Tilly's had a crazy season. She is a defensive player, but she's made 2 goals so far this season, her first 2 career goals. She's made an assist. I think she's just played an outstanding season, and I'm really excited to see where she goes from here.
Yeah, junior year's gonna be big for her. And Jason, how about you?
Yeah, I have Mac Hall as my MVP for the season for Oswego. 10 goals and 12 assists. I mean, she's just a powerhouse offensively. She's been quiet the last 2 games, so I'm interested to see how she responds here tonight.
Yeah. And for me personally, I think it's a netminder, Lexi Levy. I mean, I think we all can agree she's been absolutely outstanding for this Lakers squad. She's let up 4 goals in the past 7 games for Oswego. She's been so big. And being a senior, I think she's going to be very much missed next season. I don't know if that's going to necessarily change around their season, just Lexi Levy leaving. They have a ton of good players, but Lexi Levy's been so big for this team.
Yeah, she's she's a brick wall. There is no other word for it. She is one of the best players on the ice. She does such a phenomenal job. She's not letting that puck pass her.
No, yeah.
And listen, these two teams are great offenses. It cannot be understated. In conference play this season, Oswego has 19 individual scorers, and for Cortland, it's 14 individual scorers. These teams are evenly matched and evenly well balanced as well on the offensive level.
Right, and I know I said 5-1, but I really do believe that. I know it's evenly matched, but there's just something about tonight that I feel the playoffs coming up in Oswego. I could feel the fire in the air. I could feel it.
You know, Luke, someone's got to be wrong.
I don't think it's going to be me.
I don't think it's going to be you.
I don't think so. Well, we'll see in the first intermission. I'm excited for that because I'm going to prove every last one of you guys wrong, especially you at home. Well, I'm sorry, but that's all for us. Me, Madeline, Jason. We'll see you at the end of the first period. The moment you've all been waiting for. Does Cortland come into town and turn off the Friday night lights, or do the Lakers prevail to the 1 seed in the SUNY? Red Dragons, Lakers next.
We're here for you, we're here for you. This is your channel 2. With sports and news and what to do, we're here for you. It's your TV, you're watching WTLP. Your TV, thanks for watching WTLP.
What's going on?
Yeah, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa.
You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow. Get a close up of that one.
Broadcast news.
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
We'll deep dive into our feelings and our real talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to Major Discussions.
Welcome back, hockey fans, to WTOP 10 Sports. My name is Rob Finger, alongside Matt Johnson, and we're back here at the Deborah F. Stanley Arena for tonight's SUNYAC matchup between your Oswego State Lakers and the Cortland Red Dragons in what is going to be a very highly anticipated matchup here, Matt.
Yeah, definitely one for the ages here. We got two great teams, two teams that, to be straight and frank with you, they don't like each other, and we're going to see it out here on the ice, just straight competition here on out.
Absolutely, as the opening faceoff will go to the Cortland Red Dragons. They'll take it up the far side, sending it all the way back into the Lakers' end, but that will be an icing, knocking only about 9 seconds off of the clock at the top.
It didn't take much time there for them to want to get the puck rolling. Try dumping and chasing right away. Get into the Lakers' offensive zone, put a little bit of pressure on Levy to start off the game. Not a bad strategy by Cortland. However, great gap control by the Lakers there, holding them off.
Face off to the right of Molly Gorgon in the Cortland end as they send it back down below the goal line. Simone Bednarik looking to grab that instead. It's number 9, Ainsley Delacour. Around Pinty with a shot. It goes a bit wide. Over to the far side for Leah Coley. Back it now up for Matt Hull. Hull for Sydney Pinty. Pinty a shot. Ricocheted off of Fanny Annaborn's stick, and that will go up into the protective netting.
And doing what I said they got to do early off, get those shots on net, test Molly a little bit, make sure that she's ready, as well as Cortland did to Levy early on in the game. We'll get a face-off here to get a try again.
Face-off one back by the Lakers. They'll send it all the way down for Sofia Kirkostas. Now below the goal line, grabbing that instead is Mia Hlasnik. Up the boards it'll go. Here comes Cortland. Megan Kramer dumping it into the Lakers' end. Back below the goal line, behind the net of Lexi Levy. Kramer looking to grab that. Instead, it'll go to the far corner. Kirkostas going for it. Instead, it's Taryn Risenen. It'll go now to Preston. Now to McGrath. McGrath up towards Megan Smith. But instead, she'll send it all the way down. That will be an icing as she had not quite reached the red line yet.
A bit of a slow start here for Cortland. I'm sure they would have liked to have had a better opportunity on that rush that they just had, but they're going to get a face-off here in the offensive zone. Hopefully get the ball rolling a little bit, get the wheels turning on this offensive possession.
Face-off one to the side, but the Lakers will send it all the way around to the far side. Sofia Kirkostas struggling to get it out. Instead, it's Morgan Raymond sending it back in for Cortland. Shell now back for Raymond. Raymond taking it. Instead, it's Riley Preston. Preston off the far boards, long, all the way down the river the other way. And that will be an icing.
What an action-packed game we got here to start off, Rob. 4 icings, or I should say 3, actually. Really fast, intense start here. Obviously, these guys are aware of the status that both their goalies hold. They're aware of the seating position that they're in. They're playing very conservative hockey, and we're going to probably get a defensive matchup is what it looks like.
Absolutely. As if the stats for either the goaltender are anything to go by, this will be a goaltending matchup even to rival the Four Nations Championship just last night. Cortland coming up the other way, up the near boards. Keeping it in, though, is Rachel Corbett. Grabbing that, Kayla Persinger. Instead, it'll go around to Ainsley Delacourt again. Back below the goal line. Persinger sending it all the way around. Grace Karakis able to get it out. Cortland. Oh, under pressure there from Shea Jazeel. Helen Van Dam instead will pick it up. Van Dam looking over her options off the far boards. Oh, but right into the shins of the linesman as here comes Cortland the other way. They'll say thank you very much for that. Quick shot turned away by Lexi Levy, and up the far boards it'll go from Rachel Corbett, but keeping it in are the Red Dragons. Sending it back around is Drew Kopech. Grabbing that instead was Jaden Kelly. Around the near boards, instead it goes back below the goal line. Shea Jazeel again, another official hit with a Oswego State Lakers attempt at clearing. But again, Cortland will come back the other way. Taryn Risenen. Risenen right in. Instead, Shea Jazeel will send that back the other way. Here comes Rachel Corbett off the stick of Cooley. Quick shot right up into the glove of Molly Gorgon to stop the play.
This is more like it, Rob. Some shots are finally getting fired off there. Great job by Katie Mahoney back there. Rifles a shot right at Levy. She's luckily aware of that. She's ready to get it going. Gets that one out of the way. And a great stop there by Molly Gorgon herself.
Face off one back by Cortland, but instead the Red Dragons will take it the far side. Megan Kramer again, dumping it in. Below the goal line it'll go. And Cortland trying to center it instead, but it'll go back below the goal line over to the near side instead. Shell now back up towards, that's Burke. Burke coming in. Lizzie Burke into the far corner. Off the skate there of a Red Dragon. It'll go all the way around instead to Megan Kramer, who will send it back below the goal line. Ella Owinski. All the way down those far boards, and they will wave off the icing. Simone Bednarek will grab it. And an interesting little tidbit here that I got from one of my friends from our paper here, the Oswegonian. Simone Bednarek actually was absent for the past 2 games of the Oswego State Lakers because she was over in Germany playing for, believe it or not, the Slovakian national team, as she was formerly a member of HC SKP Bratislava as well. But thankfully she's back over stateside to play for her Oswego State Lakers here. Parenti grabbing that instead is Katie Diem. Diem in the zone. Shot turned away with ease by Lexi Levy. Up the far boards it'll go. Mac Hull up the boards from Parenti. Parenti gets it back into the hands of Lauren Shell. Over to the far side. Riley Preston's not able to grab that. Instead, it's Asher McGrath. Here comes McGrath up the far side. Over the red line, over the blue line, dumps it in. Goes to chase it herself, in fact. Ainsley Delacour, though, reversing up the far boards. Keeping it in, though, is Helen Van Dam. Back into the hands of Persinger. Persinger instead for Delacour. Delacour up the boards. Into the zone it'll go. Shea Jazeel sending it over to Van Dam. Van Dam long across for Jenna Majewski. Here they come up the near side. The Lakers dumping it in. Going to grab that is Taryn Risenen. Risenen missing it, though. Instead, it's Jillian Zolak who will pick it up. Sophia Kirkosas, though, keeping it in. Back below the goal line for Risenen. Risenen gets it instead for Kopech. Kopech now up for Mahoney. Mahoney up the near side. Up the boards it'll go. And into the Lakers' end. Coley under pressure in the far corner. Pinty trying to pinch in now. But instead it's a shot from the top. Turned away by Lexi Levy. She saw that coming all the way from the top. Cortland back up now to the top again. Another shot gets blocked. It'll go into the near corner. Coley trying to forward that up with help from Sydney Pinty. But grabbing that instead, it was Drew Kopech taking it to the far side. Rachel Corbett, long, high, out of the zone it'll go so that the Lakers can get a change. Jillian Swolak with it in the Cortland end. Up the far boards it'll go. Tessa Mucha looking to steal it away, and she does momentarily, but she does not stop its progress into the Lakers' end. Over towards the far corner. Riley Preston, putting pressure on number 11, Kira Cook there, as he goes back into that far corner from the far point. Mucha in as well, trying to pickpocket it. Riley Preston kicking it up with a foot. Instead, it's Mia Hlasnik, but Riley Preston able to grab it again, sending it out of the zone. Jillian Dinsmore reversing it the other way. Tessa Mucha and Elizabeth Cooley right here in front of the bench, just trying to get it, but instead it gets sent in by the Red Dragons. Lauren Shell around up the far boards, far down the ice it'll go for another icing as Lizzie Burke is not able to beat out the icing.
Great job back there by the Red Dragons. Rob doing a good job holding in the offensive zone. Good time on possession for them. They get a couple of shots off on Levy. And something else I've noticed just to start off the game, not only are they controlling, pinching around the boards, but they're getting those rebounds after those shots are being fired.
3:12 left to go in this first period of play as Cortland now working it in the Lakers' end, but stolen away momentarily by a stick from Elizabeth Cooley. They're just able to get it in the neutral zone, but the Red Dragons will send it right back in. Helen Van Dam up for Elizabeth Cooley, and now up for Parenti. Parenti now for Mac Hull. Cooley, though, stolen away by Mackenzie Brown. Brown at the hash marks, looking over her options. Sends it back behind the net of Levy. Instead, it'll be Van Dam who grabs it. Up for Cooley. Cooley long into the neutral zone. Instead, it's Persinger. Now handing it over to Delacour. Back to Persinger on the far side. Persinger off those far boards. Into the neutral zone it'll go, but right into the hands of Mac Hull, who sends it over off the near boards. I think she was trying to get that over for Erica Parenti, but Parenti, Simone Bednarik just in time, realizing that Erica Parenti was offsides. She's able to reel it back and drive in, and the Lakers will look to send it in and set it up here. Tessa Mucha, under pressure below the goal line. She'll come out with it, though. Mucha, long across for Coley, a shot, redirected off the post. It rang the iron off of Simone Bednarik's stick. Kayla Persinger will grab that, sending it over to the far side for Felipe Anneborn. Back over to the near side for Smith. She gets it to Lizzie Burke. Burke, though, facing some issues with Grace Caracas there. She's able to keep it in, though, but not for very long. Oh, Preston, though, able to keep it in for a little bit longer. Persinger over towards the far side. Tried to get it to the stick of Felipe Anneborn, but a little bit too far. The Lakers will grab that with ease, sending it rimming all the way around the boards for Ashley McGrath. It'll go past her all the way into the Cortland end. No icing here. Taryn Risenen up for Smith. Back for I believe that was Ashley McGrath sending it back in. Fanny Anneborn, though, up the boards it'll go. McGrath looking to reverse it at the red line. For Smith. Megan Smith under pressure, gets loose. Here comes Katie Mahoney in the zone. Mahoney across, shot goes over the net. Taryn Risenen letting a shot go, but unfortunately does not get anything on net. Zwolak driving in, sends it across, it's still there, they score. Drew Kopak, the sophomore from out east in Rome, New York, making it a one-goal game for Cortland now.
Yeah, that's her 11th goal of the year, Rob. We see it right here. A bit of a scramble in front of the net. Just the puck gets loose off of a rebound. And Corpex is able to punch that into the back of the net, give herself a one-goal lead, and have the Red Dragons take the lead here early on in the first.
And that's exactly what the Cortland Red Dragons will want in a game like this. Getting it right in front of Lexi Levy, getting a little bit of chaos going in front of her net. And that is how you deal with a goalie like that. It's just those rebounds that are the main concern as it pops into the Cortland end on the other side. Now 10-16 left to go in the first period. 1-0 now our score.
It's just so tough to let up a goal like that after an opportunity where they're able to punch it up and have it hit off the post.
Oswego working it back the other way. Coming right in, though, for another shot in the slot. Turned away, though, by Helen Van Damstick. It'll go to the boards. Gets it out for Simone Bednarik now. Bednarik coming through. Here she comes. Simone Bednarik on her own. Scores! Simone Bednarik. Only 20 seconds went off the clock before the Oswego State Lakers tie it back.
Quick answers, quick results right there. You're going to see here. Fast break by Benarnik, and she's just able to push it right past Molly Gorgon, making it a tie game. What a bit of action we got here to start off this highly anticipated match, Rob. 1-1 just halfway through the first.
Absolutely, as now the floodgates seem to have opened for scoring. However, how long will it stay at one apiece? The Dragons would surely like to get that lead back, and soon. Leah Coley operating it now for the Lakers, sends it around for Elizabeth Cooley. Cooley trying to get it for Lizzie Burke, but it goes past her stick. They will wave off the icing as Lizzie Burke's able to beat it out. Burke tried to get it across instead for Sydney Pinty. It'll go back instead for Lauren Schell. Schell dumping it into the zone. Delacour doing it around for Kayla Persinger. Up the boards it'll go. Across the red line there. Grabbing it instead is Mackenzie Brown. Over to the near side. Jocelyn Drayson will dump it in. Preston. Off the near boards it'll go. Coming right back in is Simone Bednarik. Eager for another one. as Lauren Shell setting it up the near boards, or setting it up the far boards instead, back into the neutral zone here. As Parenti sends it to Preston. Preston dumping it in. Erica Parenti chasing it in as Taryn Risenen waits for it on the far boards, gets it at about the hash marks. Thankfully, your team is able to take it away from her. Zwolak having to circle back, though. Simone Bednarik putting on all sorts of pressure on her. And clearly, she is fired up to play in this contest here. Cortland coming in. Jocelyn Drayson tried to get a shot on, but it's blocked by the defenders of the Lakers. As out of the zone, it'll go for Kirkostas. Taking it back into the zone, however. Circling for a little room. Sophia Kirkostas up for Ashley McGrath, will forward it into the zone. Taryn Risenen again. Risenen up the boards, it'll go instead for Zwolak. Zwolak up into the neutral zone here for Drew Kopek, who dumps it in. Anna Bourne trying to get a shot on anyway as it gets stuck in the skates there of Shea Jazeel. She'll send it up the near boards, and Ashley McGrath will forward it out of the zone. And keeping it out of the zone is Shea Jazeel as it goes over to the far side. Ella Owinski coming in. Shot! Turned away by Alexi Levy again as Jenna Majewski let that go. It'll go all the way down for Kelly below the goal line. Kelly looking to grab that. Instead, it's Ella Owinski taking it away for Cortland. Up the boards it'll go. Leah Coley now for Jaden Kelly. Board battle ensuing on the far side. Jenna Majewski, able to get it just out of reach of the board battle combatants here. As Majewski gets it back over on the near side. Cortland looking to break it out. Pinty keeps it in. Sends it across for Leah Coley. A shot. Turned away by Molly Gorgon into the far corner. Jillian Dinsmore up now for Kira Cook, and out of the zone it'll go. Sydney Pinty for the Lakers, stopping it behind Lexi Levy's net. She'll have to contend with Megan Kramer there as Kramer gets it back below the goal line from her teammate, as Leah Coley again fighting along those boards, trying to get the puck away. Up the near boards it'll go. Majewski looking to get it out, but instead it's Sydney Pinty who does. Kayla Persinger having to circle back for it. She's able to get around Corbett. Here she comes into the zone. Quick shot. Gloved up by Lexi Levy with 6:14 still left to go in period number one.
And although no action followed it, it's just one of the great pleasures you have when you get to watch a team like the Lakers, that blue line presence that they have in their defensive players, the way they're able to keep the puck in the zone and just keep time on possession in their offensive zone. It's going to be a big game changer for the rest of this game.
Below the goal line, the Lakers trying to get control of it from the Cortland Red Dragons, but instead sending it towards the center was Morgan Raymond. The Lakers, though, will break it just out of the zone. Mackenzie Brown sending it back in. Up the boards it'll go. Sending it around, Jillian Zwolak. For Ainsley Delacour. Up the boards it'll go past Helen Van Dam. She'll grab it, however, and try to reverse it the other way before it reached the blue line. Morgan Raymond, though, sending it in after a steal. Shea Jazeel looking over her options. Long up towards Bednarik, but instead Parenti kind of got in the middle of that. Van Dam now having to contend with it as it comes back into the zone. Lakers will send it out. Jillian Zwolak over on the far side. Over Bednarik's stick, it'll go back into the Lakers' end, and Lexi Levy will choose to cover that as to not do any damage to the board.
And like I was saying, Rob, when you face a team like Cortland that's able to just have such a strong presence, as we see right here, along the boards and defensively, to be able to keep that puck in the zone, it's been a huge reason for their success early on in this game.
Lakers coming back the other way. Mac Hull over for Bednarik. Bednarik in the zone. Coming around, sends it back towards the center, but no Lakers are able to get their sticks on it. Coley, though, with Bednarik on the far side. Leah Coley with it on the boards. Sends it right in on Gorgon, and she'll turn it away with ease. Back around for Risenen. Taryn Risenen up for Grace Caracas. Back up the boards it'll go. Here they come. Jocelyn Drayson in the zone, putting a quick shot on. Unfortunately, didn't have much on it. It'll go below the goal line. Pinty taking it around. Off for Smith. Dinsmore up the board, stolen by McGrath though. McGrath right in towards Smith. Instead it'll be Cortland grabbing it and sending it the other way. But still a lot of play right here in the neutral zone. And sending it right back in is Fanny Anneborn. Back below the goal line, it'll go over to the far side now for Kirkostas. Kirkostas trying to get it up for Ashley McGrath. Instead, it's stolen away by the Red Dragons, who will pass it around, sending it now up for Fanny Anneborn, who dumps it in. Lexi Levy stopping it. Riley Preston tried to get it for Majewski, stolen away though by Anneborn again. Delacour over to the far side for Cook. Kira Cook a shot, gloved up by Lexi Levy, now with 3:41 left to go in period number 1.
It's been a very even game so far. Just to start off, other than the one thing, Cortland is dominating on these shots so far. They got 15 shots to 8 right now, obviously showing that dominant offensive presence that they have as they get another face-off here in the offensive zone for them.
Cortland coming back around, 3:35 left to go in the first, as Majewski sending it right back up into the neutral zone, and Jaden Kelly trying to grab it instead. Cortland will come back in with it. Helen Van Dam, though, keeping her to the outside. Kira Cook fighting with it in the corner. Instead, it's Megan Kramer sending it up for Persinger. Persinger back towards Cook. Kira Cook sending it around to the near side. Shea Jazeel towards the center. It'll go instead for Van Dam. Van Dam for Majewski up the boards. Majewski for Kelly. Now Van Dam dumps it in. Around for Kayla Persinger. Persinger now for Ainsley Delacour. Delacour for Kramer. Kramer for Cooley. Cooley dumping it in. Kayla Persinger off those far boards. It'll go. Sydney Pinty grabbing that, sending it back the other way, as so does Tessa Mucha. Cortland working it back up those far boards into the hands of Morgan Raymond. So trying to dump it in, courtesy of Mackenzie Brown, but still at that blue line. Tessa Mucha takes it away. Here comes Elizabeth Cooley. She'll choose to dump it in as the Lakers forwards go for a change. Around the near side it comes. Parenti able to keep it in. Hands it off for Coley. A shot! Turned away by the blocker of Molly Gorgon over to the far side. Parenti towards the middle. It hops. Bednarik with it on her skate. Sends it over to the near side instead of towards the goal. Preston now towards Mac Hull. She's able to steal it away. Here comes Mac Hull into the zone. Sends it cross. Kicked away by Molly Gorgon. Simone Bednarik. Now for Preston. Preston a shot. Turned away by the stick of Parenti. But instead it's Bednarik grabbing in the far corner. Sending it over to the near side now. Julian Zwolak up the boards. Mackenzie Brown. Mac Hull is able to reverse it. Instead, she'll take it herself up the board, sending it right back in on Cortland's goaltender. Taryn Risenen. Long all the way around the far side instead for Ashley McGrath. McGrath through the middle here, over the blue line into the zone. Ashley McGrath is shot. It gets turned away and covered by Molly Gorgon.
And once again, a great job by the Lakers. Like I've been saying all during the first half, they're keeping it in the offensive zone. Their offensive time, the possession has been phenomenal. It hits the neutral zone, they bring it right back in. Fast speed, fast pace, and they're getting shots off net. Probably not as many as they would like.
Sophia Kirkostas right in for Smith, and Molly Gorgon's able to stretch it out and cover it with the glove with 1:07 now left to go in period number 1.
And a perfect example of it right there, Rob. They're getting these offensive opportunities. It's been the name of the game for them all night long. It's just they're not the opportunities they're hoping for. They're hitting the post. They're a little low. These are easy stops for Molly Gorgon so far.
Shea Jazeel sending it all the way around back below the goal line. Now for Helen Van Dam in the far corner. McGrath has shot it. It's turned away again by the pad of Molly Gorgon. Up the boards it'll go. Keeping it in though is Ashley McGrath. Only momentarily though, it'll pop into the zone. Shea Jazeel. Oh, tried to get it up the boards instead. Here come the Red Dragons. Grace Caracas able to handle it. Up the boards it'll go. Out of the zone though for Ainsley Delacour. The woman from Stony Creek, Ontario. Ainsley Delacour sending it back around. Jaden Kelly, though, will pick it up for the Lakers. Kelly towards the center. on the back of the net, it almost looked like, but instead, Molly Gorgon's able to cover it right near her skate.
Yeah, almost looked like a bit of an awkward centering pass there from Kelly as she hits the ground there, just tries to rifle the puck off, and they'll get an offensive zone. Luckily, they were able to retain possession.
Face off to the left of Molly Gorgon. Only 20 seconds left to go in period number 1 here from the Deborah F. Stanley Arena. Over to the far side, it'll go for Rachel Corbett. Board battle here, 10 seconds left. Rachel Corbett loses that to Ella Lewinsky. Still battling, 3, 2, and 1. That'll be it for the first period of action here from the Deborah F. Stanley Arena. The score, after 1 period of play, 1 for the Lakers, 1 for the Cortland Red Dragons so far in this contest here, Matt.
I think it was a great first half, very entertaining, or period, I should say, very entertaining. Someone that really stood out for me was Simone Bernardic. She's really setting the tone here for the Lakers tonight, doing what she does best. She has the A on her chest for a reason. She's a leader in that locker room. She's a leader on the ice. And she's showing it best here tonight as she's able to get that tying goal for the Lakers. And another thing that's really standing out for me is the shot differential, like I mentioned earlier. Cortland right now was out shooting 15-8 on the Lakers halfway through the first. Come to the end of the first, it's 15-14 apiece. This is a pretty even match, Rob, and I'd like to see what happens in the second.
And speaking of Simone Bednarik, we got Michelle Smith down in the player tunnel with Simone Bednarik. We'll send it down to Michelle.
Hey everyone, I'm here with Simone Bednarik, the first goal scorer for SUNY Oswego tonight. Simone, you scored your 7th goal of the season and the first Lakers goal tonight. How are you feeling going into this first intermission?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling really energetic. I think the team has a lot of high energy today. It's obviously a great game playing against Cortland, they're our rivals, so I'm feeling great. It's a fun game.
So you're closing out the season tomorrow against Cortland in Cortland's home arena. What is the mindset going into these last few games with another team that's already clinched a spot in the playoffs?
Yep. Same mindset that we've been going in every game. Just work hard. That's what we got to do. We know what we're supposed to do out there, so we just got to do it. We play every game the same way, no matter the opponent. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Simone. Good luck the next 40.
Thank you.
I'm going to send it back up to the perch.
Thank you very much, Michelle. But don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. That might be it for the first period, but don't go away. We'll have our intermission report right here. You're watching WTOP 10 TV. We'll be back after this.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No,
right
but you've
here.
got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
Roll it.
Jill told me it was Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
Al Roker. Welcome back to Major Discussions.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the Earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
We welcome you back into the Deborah F. Stanley Ice Arena. We are in intermission one. It has been a fun one so far. We're 1-1. What do you guys think so far?
You know, Luke, earlier, Jason and I, and a little bit you, but Jason and I were talking about how we thought this would be a close game, and it really is. Both teams are bringing it. They both really want it. This is a huge game for the SUNYAC, and it's going to be close. It's going to be tight.
Yeah, off what Madeline said, this feels like a playoff game, and it shows here on the ice. Just two physical teams going at it, and it was a great first period.
Yeah, so my score prediction, I mean, is 1-1. It's actually still alive. We're all still alive. I know it's 1-1. It does look like it'll be a little bit closer than 5-1, but Oswego can still do it. All right, so Madeline, we have 2 goals. Can you take me through the first one by Cortland?
Yeah, so the first Cortland goal, Cortland took an early but a very short-lived lead. It was scored by number 22, Drew Kopik. The assist was by Zwalik. I might have mispronounced it. But it was her 11th goal for a season, a big early lead. That first goal is huge for whatever team is on the ice.
And Jason, second goal for us. There was a first goal for us. We go second goal of the game. 20 seconds after Cortland. What a response.
Yeah, well, what a response indeed. And it was Simone Bednarik stealing the puck from Gillian Densman, and it was all Bednarik all the way down the ice, driving past a defender and just doing a beautiful job finding the bottom of the net. Her 7th goal of the season, and it couldn't have come at a more opportune time.
Yeah, I mean, 20 seconds after. I mean, besides that 30 seconds, defense was humongous. I mean, in the beginning, watching the game, Lexi Levy was on one, like she usually is, my MVP of the season. She was just playing great, and Lexi Levy, I mean, night in and night out, she gets the job done.
Yeah, can I say I'm not surprised?
Yeah.
She, like I said, she is a brick wall. She is a powerhouse, and she always brings her all.
Yeah, and we saw Lexi Levy last game give up 2 uncharacteristic goals, back-to-back goals, and we saw her today, but she responded in that game really well, and in this game as well. She gave up an uncharacteristic goal in the first period, but responded so well afterwards. And that's really the theme of both these teams, just how they respond to adversity.
Right, I mean, they go down early 1-0, and Oswego all season, that's what they've been doing. Either if it's goals, if it's games, they come back in big ways, and they said 20 seconds, that's all they need, and they're right back in this one. It's 1-1, and it's been a physical game for sure. I mean, they've been all over each other. Jason, anything to say about the physicality of this one?
Yeah, well, we knew physicality was going to be big in this one, and really for both teams, it's been crucial for them today. But really for Oswego, the opening minutes, the real struggle they had offensively was getting it past their own neutral zone, which is uncharacteristic for them. I mean, they're a team that likes to set up their offense early, and even afterwards, I mean, even after their 1 goal, Cortland really dominated time of possession. That's really an interesting thing here going into the second period, is how both teams are going to respond and how puck control is going to play a factor in this game.
Yeah, no, I mean, Madeline, go ahead, physicality?
You know, I was just going to say that it's been a physical game so far, but I'm just sure that going forward into the second and third periods, it's going to be crazy. I know that those coaches are yelling in the locker room right now. I know they are getting one pep talk or two pep talks in there, but two pep talks. Yeah. But I can only imagine how the physicality and the aggression on the ice is going to shift going forward.
Yeah. Yeah, so talking about the second period, what do you guys think, if you could pinpoint one thing that each team needs to do to get back in this one and take that lead, because we're tied 1-1 here?
Yeah, well, there's several things. I mean, you look at, I think for us, well, it's really evenly matched. I mean, Cortland's shooting, in terms of shooting, it's 15-14 in Cortland's advantage. But I think for Oswego, what they really have to do in the second period is just really try and cough up the puck more times, have more fast break opportunities, because that's what led to the one goal here in this game. So if you want to increase their lead, you're going to have to be more tight defensively and try and force Cortland to make mistakes on the offensive side of things.
Yeah, again, evenly matched. The face-offs are 5-6 right now.
Yeah.
Like it's the shots on goal are pretty similar. It's an evenly matched game, and I think what it's all about going forward is going to be aggression and staying out of the penalty box. Right. Neither teams have had any power plays yet, but I think once something happens, if something happens, that's going to be when they have to step in, when they have to utilize that time.
Yeah, and Madeline, to go off what you said, I mean, last game for Oswego, they gave up 2 goals, and both of them were in the power play, so that's a big thing.
Right, yeah, I mean, I think that goes to show is that there's been a ton of physicality, but it's been clean physicality. And I think when that penalty does arise, which there should be one at least one time in this game, that's where the teams need to take advantage of the penalty box. So score prediction wise, like I mentioned mine, whatever, do you guys want to stay with your score prediction? I mean, I feel like I might need to change mine if that's allowed. Is that allowed?
You have to change it. Who would have thought?
I gotta check the rule book.
I think, okay, I'll just do one. I'll do one. I'll stick with this one though. 5-1, a little outlandish. I was trigger happy. Oh, Oswego, Friday night. Let's do it. I'll say, can I go 4-2? No, you have 4-2.
I have 4-2.
I won't steal yours. And you have 3-2.
I have
Cortland,
3-2
right?
Cortland, yes. The opposite.
Man. You know what? No, 5-1's gonna happen. I'm sticking with it. Watch it happen at home. 5-1's gonna happen. I have nothing to change it to, so I'm just gonna stick with it. 5-1 Oswego.
At the end of the day, it's gonna be a close game.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. I don't know if my score prediction will be right. I don't know if any of our score predictions will be right, but
well, it's quite possible.
5-1. Let's go, baby.
It's quite possible, too, in the second period. I mean, Oswego has such an explosive offense. We've seen them time and time again scoring back-to-back goals in less than a couple minutes apart. We saw last game they scored 2 goals within less than 4 minutes apart. So it's quite possible that they come out firing in the second period, but we'll see. I think it's going to be a lot closer.
Jason, this quite literally is anyone's game at this point.
It's
1-1.
Yeah.
They both want it. They're both shooting. They're both making those offensive plays.
No, we're in for a good one, and there's no doubt about that. Going to be 5-1, but we're going to go to a quick break. We'll be back in the second to third intermission. It's hockey night in Oswego, 1-1. We're in for a good one, only here on WTOP 10.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the Earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
The Kinda Late Show with Chloe and Anna. Like licorice, Twizzlers, absolutely nasty. The thought of turkey is just nauseating.
I think you're wrong, is what I think.
You think I'm wrong a lot of time.
I do think you're wrong a lot.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the
keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back up top of the Steve Levy press box. My name is Rob Finger alongside Matt Johnson, and we're back here at the Deborah F. Stanley Arena for period 2 of action between your Oswego State Lakers and the Cortland Red Dragons. The score after the first 20, all knotted up at 1 apiece here, Matt.
Yeah, we got an exciting second period set for us, Rob. Fairly highly anticipated. It's 1 apiece, like you said. Everything's even pretty much throughout the boards. We're going to see if they can hold that same stature coming into the second, or if one of these two teams is going to be able to break loose and get a bit of a lead going into the third. We'll find out right now.
Well, neither of the elite goaltenders on the ice would like for many more goals to be put on the board, as they are both have been put up with their own numbers. Both number 1 goaltenders, 1 goal apiece given up so far this game. Both of those goaltenders are ready. We're ready up here. As the puck gets dropped and won back by the Cortland Red Dragons, they'll send it right into the Oswego bench.
I wasn't expecting the puck to go there. I was expecting at least towards the net.
Yeah, I was about to say, it probably, you'd like to get it into the zone, not quite into the bench of your opponent.
Maybe they're still a little winded. They want another extra 5 or 10 seconds. They'll have a face-off here in the center of the ice.
Yeah, we'll get take 2 with 19:54 still left to go in period number 2. Cortland will win it once again. Pinty over for Leah Coley. Coley now for Parenti. Parenti through the neutral zone, up for Matt Hull, right in close, sends it right across. Grabbing that is Cortland. Here they come the other way. Drew Kopech. Oh, trying to get around Leah Coley there, but Leah Coley is not so easily beaten. She'll send it up for Matt Hull. In the zone, she'll go. Matt Hull all the way around the far boards. All the way around, having to stop it, having to drop it as soon as she went across that blue line. And stopping the dump in was Riley Preston. Preston now for Shell. Shell for Kirkostas, goes past her stick, and Megan Smith's having to chase it. Smith back up towards Kirkostas. Kirkostas in the corner, though, sends it back to Smith. Smith right in front, and McGrath was not able to get her stick on it, as here comes Mia Hlasnik. Poked away, though, by the Lakers, to a roar of applause from the Laker bench. Shell gives some pressure below the goal line. Up the boards, it'll go towards Kirkostas. Keeping that in, though, is Hlasnik. Up the boards, Smith over towards McGrath. Goes off her skate and into the hands of Ella Iwinski. Sending it all the way in. Preston gets a hold of it. Instead, it'll be Lauren Shell taking it out, or trying to take it out at least, as she gives it right to Katie Diem, who puts it back in. Preston up for Shell. Now up towards Jaden Kelly. Kelly up the boards, it'll go. Jillian Dinsmore, though, reversing the other way. Jazeel dumping it in. Kelly will grab it. Back over towards, send it right in for Corbett, but turned away by Molly Gorgon off a few passes there. Van Dam, a quick shot ricocheted off of Corbett, but somehow Molly Gorgon is able to come up with it.
Great job there by Corbett. She gets 2 fantastic opportunities to take advantage of the lack of defense there by the Red Dragons. Luckily, Molly Gorgon is just quick enough that she's able to get those stops off, especially that second deflection. She was able to stretch across the crease, it almost looked like, to keep it in the defensive zone.
Van Dam sending it all the way around for Jenna Majewski below the goal line. Majewski having to kick it a little bit, but instead it goes back to Jaden Kelly. Kelly now towards Shea Jazeel on the far side. Lets it go. Through the neutral zone they'll come. Filippa Anneborn, one of the 2 sisters from Linköping, Sweden, a town just a little bit to the southeast, or the southwest of Stockholm. Now over for Shea Jazeel. Off the near boards it'll go. Through the neutral zone all the way to the stick of Ainsley Delacour. Up the boards they'll go. Here they come. Jocelyn Drayson into the zone, not able to get a shot off. Sends one in, but it's redirected up into the protective net, and he will get a stoppage with 17:08 still left to go in period number 2.
Great job there by Lizzie Burke. She was able to lift the stick up, get the stick off the puck just for a split second, which closed that gap control and was able to have the defense push up and cause that puck to leave the zone. And we'll get a face-off here in the Lakers' defensive zone.
One back by Cortland, but quickly the Lakers are able to take it away, sending it through the neutral zone, up the near boards. But Cortland will reverse. Here they come into the Lakers' end. Katie Mahoney trying to get a shot off, but instead it's the Lakers coming back the other way. Up now for Lizzie Burke. Off the boards it'll go into the zone. Below the goal lines, all the way around up the near boards. Cortland trying to get it out of their own end, and they do, but just trying to generate some offense in the Lakers' end. Pinty having to chase it. Sydney Pinty reverses. Sends it right for Preston. Now back for Pinty. Pinty rimming up the boards. Now for Lizzie Burke. Burke just able to get it out of the zone, but here comes the Red Dragons again. Mia Lasnik. Lasnik sends a one, but it's off the stick of Pinty, and it does not reach the net of Lexi Levy. Far boards now for Lizzie Burke in the far corner. Leaves it for Sydney Pinty, who hands it off for Preston. Riley Preston far up the far boards, all the way down. It'll go Simone Bednarek. Long up the other way. She's able to grab it with ease. Sends it right in for Parenti. A quick attempt at a shot, but no shot will come as they send it right back into the linesman again for about the second time this game. Cortland up the boards it'll go. Through the neutral zone comes Mia Lasnik. Right in. Shell. Now up for Hull. Mac Hull losing that at the blue line, sending it back in is Mackenzie Brown, the woman from Peru, New York, up in the North Country. Shell across towards Jazeel, gets redirected off the stick of Katie Diem right towards Lexi Levy, but Lexi Levy on her toes, she's able to cover it up.
Great defense there, though, by the Red Dragons. Able to keep the pressure, keep the puck alive, and just inevitably force a face-off in their offensive zone.
Cortland winning it back, sending it right back in below the goal line once more as Helen Van Dam fighting for it in the near corner. Instead, it'll be Katie Diem sending it right towards the center. McGrath will get it away, but it goes right into the hands of Megan Smith now. Smith to get it towards Kirkostas, but intercepted again by the Red Dragons. They'll try again, sending it all the way back down the other way. However, that will be an icing.
Yeah, turnover after turnover there. Just a bit of sloppy possession by the Lakers. Ends up leading to an icing. And once again, they'll be in the Lakers' defensive zone.
Face off to the left of Lexi Levy in the Oswego end. Smith winning that back. Leah Coley will grab it in the near corner. Up the backboards it goes. As again, putting on a hit there was Helen Van Dam. Chasing after the puck as it gets redirected over towards the near corner here. Cortland putting on all the pressure, so does the Lakers. Leah Coley will come out with it. Coley across towards McGrath, poked away though by Ainsley Delacourt. They'll send it in nonetheless. Around goes Jocelyn Drayson as it gets back. Stolen away by Rachel Corbett. Sent towards the center, but instead it'll ricochet high and over into the far corner. Jenna Majewski trying to get a handle on it. Instead, it'll go to the to the neutral zone. Rachel Corbett will recover. Corbett into the zone, drops it for Jaden Kelly. Kelly right in, a quick shot, it goes wide. Preston under pressure from the Red Dragons is stealing that away with a quick stick lift. Was Rachel Corbett, and clearly Katie Mahoney is not the happiest here. Corbett a shot, it goes over the net. Preston sending it right back in towards Rachel Corbett on her knees. Gets it over to Majewski though. Majewski, Rachel Corbett back on her feet, pursuing Philippa Hanneborn. As it goes back over into the Cortland end. A little bit long though. She was just over that red line. And that will be another icing with 13:30 left to go in period number 2. We'll send it down to Michelle Smith. Michelle, what do you have for us? Unfortunately, some technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen, but we will play on here as the Lakers able to grab it off the faceoff, sending it all the way long around the far side. Cortland will get it, though, back along those backboards. Up to the point. Working it. Quick shot! Save made by Lexi Levy. She's not able to cover it, however, as it goes back into that near corner. Cortland grabbing that. Instead is Megan Kramer. Off the boards, though, from Pinty. Up for Burke, now up for Mucha. Tessa Mucha coming around into the zone. Across, still with the puck, though, puts a shot on. Kicked away, though. Another shot, another save. Both made by Molly Corgan. Mia Lasnik into the zone for Cortland. Around the net of Lexi Levy. Oh, she had a shot there. As a little bit of that net was open. She could have wrapped it, but did not choose to do so. Towards the center it'll go. Cortland able to grab it. Oh, but it's, I believe that was Lizzie Burke sending it all the way back down the other way, but instead that will be an icing. It was quite a late call by the far referee to blow that whistle.
Yeah, no doubt in that one, though, Rob. Clearly an icing after that play, but a great job by the Lakers. 2 shots on net and then followed by the Red Dragons having a great offensive possession themselves. Chip shot just goes wide right past Levy, but we'll get another chance here.
12:27 left to go in the second period. Here is sending it back in below the goal line of the Lakers. Shea Jazeel over Van Dam. Jazeel gets it back. Jazeel looking over her options, gets it up for Parenti. Intercepted, though, by Mackenzie Brown, as Cooley, though, is able to recover. Cooley off the far boards. It'll go all the way down into the Cortland end, but another icing gets called, which seems to be about the 7th or 8th icing here just in the first half of this game.
Yeah, and despite all these icings, it's almost like the Red Dragons' hustle tonight is on a different level. We saw it a couple plays ago. Katie Mahoney, she lost her glove in the neutral zone, and she played on the goal scorer for the Red Dragons tonight, and we saw it there. Phenomenal effort there by Brown trying to get a steal off. Would have been a 3-on-0 if she completed that, but instead they'll just take a face-off here.
Face-off 1 forward by the Lakers. They'll send it all the way back down into the Cortland end, and another icing here. Might as well start counting them at this point, but 11:57 still remains in this second period.
10.5 over/under. What do you think on these icings tonight, Rob?
Oh, I'd say over 10.5 so far. I think
we're getting close to it for sure.
I think we've already had easily about 8 or 9, but nonetheless, we will go all the way back into the Lakers end. Face off to the right of Lexi Levy. Parenti and Jocelyn Drayson contending with that. Let's get pushed over to Levy. She'll cover that one up with ease. And only knocks a second off the board here.
At least the Lakers will get a line change here after those back-to-back icing calls. Get some fresh legs on the ice as they get a face-off.
Face-off tied up, one back by the Lakers. It'll go over to the far boards instead in the hands of Ainsley Delacourt. She'll send it all the way in. Riley Preston up towards Mac Hall, goes past her stick over towards Parenti. She tried to chip it off the boards past Kayla Persinger, but she's not able to on that occasion. She'll send it back, though, into the Cortland end. Preston looking over her options, sends it into the zone. Below the goal line it'll go. Kayla Persinger around the far boards, just trying to get it out of the zone fairly slowly here. She'll send it over to the near side instead of the hands of Ainsley Delacourt. Off the boards it'll go into the Lakers' end. Preston, Persino and Bednarik on the far side. Bednarik, long up towards Mac Hull. She's able to get it. Here comes Mac Hull, one-on-one. Oh, it's forced to go to the boards, waits for the rest of her team to come in. Tries to drop it for Ashley McGrath there, who was pushing in as Sydney Pinty tried to save it at the blue line, but was just a little bit over that determining edge. Here comes Cortland the other way. Shot, save made by Lexi Levy.
Okay, easy save there. That's routine for Levy, but a good shot there by the Red Dragons. And a great job by the Lakers pushing it into the offensive zone. Mac Hull had a bit of a breakaway there. She's too good of a hockey player to push that to the edges. I would have liked to have seen her try and take that one-on-one, get a shot opportunity off. But a great job by her fighting along the boards to get that possession even in contention.
Ashley McGrath setting it up for Sophia Kirkostas, who blew a tire right at the red line. Just a killer for momentum there as it goes back into the hands of the Red Dragons. Cortland sending it right into the hands of Leah Coley. Coley, though, Up for Kirkostas now. Kirkostas in the zone, trying to make up for her blown tire. Below the goal line it'll go, into the corner. Around now for Jillian Zwolak. Zwolak right to the center for Jenna Majewski coming on. Majewski into the zone, all alone. Sends right in. Oh, the net almost came off its moorings. I think it did as per the ruling of the referee, but some of the parents on the far side of the ice here, far side of the arena, are taking issue with that because I don't think it went off its moorings.
Yeah, definitely got a little dislodged. I don't think it was worth the stoppage of play, but good job by Majewski using her physicality to just try and get the extra edge going towards the net.
Majewski again, right on in close on the net of Molly Gorgon. Working it up for Corbett. Corbett under pressure from the Red Dragons. Majewski, though, able to save it. Back up towards Shell. She'll send it right in her. I believe that was Shea Jazeel. Jazeel trying to hold that blue line, not able to, but it's Helen Van Dam coming over to the far side and taking it away. Here comes Jaden Kelly. Tried to leave it for Corbett. Just went a little bit past her stick. Below the goal line, Jillian Dinsmore. Up towards Riley Preston. Preston for Shell. Shell up past Corbett. She'll get it up for Elizabeth Cooley now. Cooley in the zone, below the goal line. Sent around. Drop back for Mucha. Tessa Mucha toward the center. Redirection all the way up for Lauren Shell. She'll send it back in for Cooley. Cooley rimming it around the near boards towards Shell. Shell's able to keep it in. Around Risenen, looking to work it up the boards. Along the backboard, still with it. Morgan Raymond now coming out with it. But instead, it's Ella Iwinski. Up the boards, all the way down it'll go. The linesman waving off the icing there as Burke grabbing that for the Lakers. Burke for Cooley, and she'll get it off her stick and dump it in. Ainsley Delacourt. Long up now for Mackenzie Brown. Dumping it in is Brown. Around for Cooley, or Coley, I should say. Coley over for Pinty. Pinty for Bednarik. For Parenti. Parenti for Hull. Hull over for Erica Parenti. Right on in towards Mac Hull. It's off her skate. And they'll have to regroup. Simone Bednarik. Around. Over towards Grace Caracas. Gets a big hit from Parenti as well as Mac Hull tries to keep it in the zone. Taking it out, though, is Jocelyn Drayson, the woman from Dallas in Texas. Cortland not able to keep it in the zone, and instead it'll go up for Jillian Zwolak, sending it right in. Pinty up for Kirkostas. Kirkostas dumping it in. Oh, stolen away, though, by Taryn Risenen. Just denying entry into the Cortland end. Kirkostas having to deal with Katie Mahoney right here on the near boards as it goes into the corner. Jazeel with Van Dam. Under pressure there from Katie Mahoney and Fanny Annaborn. The Swede holding fast here. As Kirkostas and Jazeel handing it up instead to Kopek. They'll work it across the blue line. Quick shot off of a block from Ashley McGrath. It'll go back over to the near boards. Katie Mahoney now gives it right up for Sophia Kirkostas. She tried to toe it up there with her stick, but instead it'll go back into the Lakers' end. McGrath long all the way around past Rachel Corbett, and the Lakers will go for a change. Sending it back into the zone. Now down for Riley Preston. Preston looking, just trying to get it out of the Lakers' end here. Preston, tried a little drop there, but instead it'll go into the hands of Cortland. They'll get it right into the hands of Jaden Kelly. Now up for Jenna Majewski. Up for Corbett now. Into the zone they'll go. Rachel Corbett. Shot gloved up by Molly Corrigan, who gave a little shove instead to Jaden Kelly. My goodness. Boy, oh boy, this game is heating up. But we'll send it down to Michelle Smith. Michelle, what do you have for us?
Thanks, guys. We've got a fun little stat here for you in the midst of all the action.
6:12 left to go in period number 2. As again, it'll go into the far corner. Jaden Kelly getting it up from Majewski. Majewski instead right in front. The net is up. And it's not in the goal. It's still there. Kicked away by Molly Gorgon. Oh, boy. As once again, it'll go back up towards the boards. Coley, a shot. It goes wide. Back over for Corbin on the far side. Cortland getting it over on the near side to Kayla Persinger. Elizabeth Cooley. She's looking to cool it down here for the Lakers. Is Lizzie Burke getting it back to Cooley. Cooley below the goal line it'll go. Pass to Ainsley Delacourt. Over to the far side for Mucha. Now for Cooley towards the center for Lizzie Burke. Denied though by Kayla Persinger. Around the other way, dumping it in are the Red Dragons. Below the goal line for Katie Diem. The woman from Fairport, New York. Now for Tessa Mucha. Mucha dumping it in is Cortland again. As again, Helen Van Dam. Now up for Lizzie Burke. Burke over for Bednarik. Simone Bednarik in the zone. Quick shot goes wide. Cortland trying to get it out here, and the referees will rule a hand pass with 4:39 left to go in period number 2. We'll send it back down to Michelle. Michelle, what do you have for us?
Sorry for that technical difficulty again, guys. Hopefully third time's the charm. I've got a fun stat for you in the midst of all the action. Oswego has won 12 of 21 faceoffs, adding to the record of 674 on the season to Cortland's 66. Faceoff performance has been a huge factor for Oswego in keeping possession and building up those 13 shots on goal. Back to the press box. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much, Michelle. And of course, yes, those faceoffs do play a very big part, and we saw it especially in their last match against Morrisville, as Morrisville was very much winning in the faceoff circle against these Oswego State Lakers, and that's what was able to get them those 2 goals that they put on them, nearly beating the Lakers as a quick shot comes in, they score! Lauren Shell beats Molly Gorgon 5-hole.
Great job there by Lauren Shell. She was able to just shoot into a crowd of Red Dragons, close her eyes, wish for the best, and it was able to skip through, go 5-hole on Molly Gorgon. What an absolute game changer here for the Lakers. We'll see it here. Almost looks like maybe
I
a
believe
stick
that was
on that
Mac
towards the end.
Hull.
Parenti might have gotten the credit for that goal. But at the end of the day, great play by the Lakers there to put them up 1 now.
Absolutely, and the Lakers will take their first lead of the game here as Kirkostas sending it over for McGrath, and I believe that was Mac Hull as well, as who was able to tip it down and just get it to go to ice level and beat a quick shot now from Smith, and yeah, beat Molly Gorgon. Unfortunately not on this occasion though for Megan Smith. 3:40 still left to go in this second period here, Matt.
Nice shot there, straight from the slot there from Smith, however. These are the opportunities that the Lakers like to see. These are how they're able to pull away in hockey games, and they've been able to do it all season long. Let's see if they can keep getting opportunities like this.
Ashlyn McGrath getting it back towards Kirkostas, and able to find Lauren Shell will be the one who does get the credit for that one, as I originally thought, but nonetheless, a great effort all the way around from the Lakers offense to make that goal happen. As Smith getting it up the boards, instead right into the hands of Mia Lasnik. Lasnik, the woman who wears the C, sending it back all the way down the other way. Lexi Levy will call for it, and that will be an icing with just under 3 minutes left to go in the second period.
Yeah, but we saw last period, anything can happen within those 3 minutes. We could have high intense hockey, or we could see maybe 3-4 more icings to close off the second. We'll have to see here, as the Lakers are going to get an offensive zone face-off right here, right now. But it looks like the refs are going to have a word first and bring it all together into the face-off circle.
Oh, and referee Visconti over there having a little bit of an issue with head coach Rick Filigera for the Cortland Red Dragons, but nonetheless, working it around now is Rachel Corbett. Corbett over for Jazeel. Jazeel shot kicked away by Molly Gorgon. Jazeel will get it back though, sending it back below the goal line. Ainsley Delacourt now around for Persinger again. Keeping it in is Van Dam though. Van Dam back around for Delacourt. Delacourt off the far boards this time into the hands of Mackenzie Brown. Mackenzie Brown into the zone. Quick shot redirected though by, I believe that was number 24, Jay Jazeel. It'll go for Lizzie Burke. Now up for Elizabeth Cooley. Tipping it into the zone. Cooley up the boards. It'll go for Tessa Mucha. Mucha sending it right towards the net there, but blocked away by the body of Katie Diem. Keeping it in is Elizabeth Cooley. Dumping it down. Tessa Mucha will have to chase it. Mucha over now for Burke. Lizzie Burke over for Preston. Preston, a shot gets turned away by the skate. It'll bounce across that blue line, and taking it momentarily out, now fully out, are the Cortland Red Dragons. Here comes Katie Diem, a shot redirected off of Shell's stick, just wide of the net. A quick shot there from Mackenzie Brown, just a little bit too shallow angled. Here come the Lakers out of the zone. Burke across for Cortland. Grabbing that is Jocelyn Drayson. Drayson across now for Haley Hunter. Preston putting on pressure, and so does Lauren Shell down below the goal line. Cortland though looking to get that goal back. A quick shot turned away by Lexi Levy. Simone Bednarek back below the goal line. Ooh, reverses around there and beats out Grace Caracas. Caracas though grabbing it. Shot! Save made Lexi Levy. Oh, it nearly crossed the line. Wow. What a save by the stick of Lexi Levy.
You see it there, why she's one of the best in the SUNYAC. Great second effort by her, realizing that it was falling out of her possession. Springs the stick back, slams it on the goal line, able to stop the puck from crossing. That would have been a tie game towards the end of the second period, a big momentum switch. She's able to stop that though and keep it in the favor of the Lakers.
Absolutely. It was Ashley McGrath blocking a shot there, but here comes Delacourt right in. Shot gloved up by the leather of Lexi Levy.
Facing a lot of pressure here tonight. She's taken about 31 shots on for the whole night from the Red Dragons, and other than that little slip up that she had just had recently that she was able to recover from, great overall night so far once again from Lexi Levy, as she's been doing all season long.
Yeah, over 30 shot opportunities for each team, only 13 shots necessarily registered on net, but both of these teams firing on all cylinders here as Lexi Levy sending it off those far boards. Back into the zone it'll go. Pinty getting it. Oh, and blowing a tire there was Drew Kopeck right into the net of Lexi Levy. Boy, oh boy, and that will cause the Cortland Red Dragons to be offside. And Kopeck wants a penalty on that. I'm not exactly sure how it happened. She might have gotten a little bit tripped up. But nonetheless, yeah, Kopeck spending a little bit of time in the net of Lexi Levy as it'll go all the way back down into the Cortland end. Into the near corner it'll go. Cortland grabbing that Neil Lasnik. 5 seconds left on the board. Up the near boards it'll go towards the center. And that'll do it for period number 2 of action here from the Deborah F. Stanley Arena. The score after 40 minutes of regulation time. 2 for the Oswego State Lakers, only 1 for the Cortland Red Dragons so far here, Matt.
Yeah, it's been a real lockdown performance. Obviously, it's holding up to the standard. We thought this game would have a great chance there late in the second for the Red Dragons to able to get ahead, but who else but Lexi Levy to put the team on her back once again and able to stop that goal. And luckily it worked out in the Lakers' favor. They were able to capture a goal in the second to give them a 1-goal lead heading into the third.
Yeah, Shay Jazeel, the one who's got credited for that one, able to put a shot on from the near point and able to beat Molly Gorgon 5-hole. And we'll send it down to Michelle Smith, who has Lauren Shell. Michelle, what do you got for us?
All right, I'm here with Lauren Shell, our second goal scorer of the night. This is your third of the season. What is the vibe for you personally and in the locker room heading into the SUNYAC playoff?
I mean, for me, it's just keep the energy high.
you know, you make mistakes, but you have to move on. You got to let it go, and if you keep the energy up and everyone's positive in the locker room and with each other, you'll have success.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lauren. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Thanks. Right back up to the perch.
Thank you very much, Michelle. A great period for the Oswego State Lakers so far. We've only got 20 minutes left, but don't go away. We'll send it back up to the perch after the break for our intermission report. You're watching Oswego State Lakers women's hockey right here on WTOP 10.
Jill told me it was Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
Al Roker.
We're here for you, we're here for you. This is your channel 2. With sports and news and what to do, we're here for you. It's your TV, you're watching WTOP. Your TV, thanks for watching WTOP.
What's going on?
Yeah, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa.
You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow. Get a close up of that one.
Matthew,
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
Hockey night in Oswego, Cortland at Oswego. 2-1, Oswego scores in the second. What are you guys' thoughts on this period?
Yeah, I mean, physical back and forth game. I mean, both teams evenly matched here. But again, Oswego, to your credit, came away with the lone goal in the period. So it's been a great game so far.
Yeah, this is just such a fun game to watch. You can even hear the players down at the benches just screaming and cheering for each other. There's so much energy. It's so fun to be a part of.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. The energy of the bench is just fun to watch. Energy of the crowd, too. There's a lot of people talking, screaming. I've heard it all night long. That also leads to the ice, and there's been a lot of physicality. Just like in the first period, they kept that up. That wasn't out of the game plan in the second period. Physicality has been a big issue in this game. Not issue, but it's been a big part.
Yeah, no, and it feels like a playoff game. We cannot stress that enough. It feels like a playoff game. Emotions running high in this game, and it's transitioned well into this game. It's been a scrappy fight thus far for both teams.
You know, it is physical, but it's also clean. These are some clean plays, some clean passes. They are staying out of that penalty box. There's still been no penalties so far in this game. Yeah. They want it, and they're being aggressive, but they know where the line is. Yeah. And I think that's something important that both teams need to be watching going forward.
Yeah. I agree with the passes have been surgical, honestly. I mean, they're fitting through tight windows, and it's been a very, very fun game to watch. And you know, you like the physical games, but the clean ones they're fun. They're like, wow, like, you know, you don't see it very often. Hockey is a very physical sport, but when it's clean and surgical, it's very nice to watch. Yeah. Now, there was an almost goal for Cortland, or for Oswego down at our end, the near end, and it was like 5 people piled up. Jason, you had a comment about that while we were watching. It was a fun one.
Yeah, I mean, it was unbelievable. I mean, just a great work from Cortland and their goalie. I mean, she just did an incredible job, standing strong, standing tall, and it was unbelievable. I mean, there was about 5 or 6 players just piled up in the goalie box, and the fact that no goals resulted out of it was incredible. It was just a great job.
Right.
Yeah.
And Lauren Schell, she scored. Now, and that they had the pile up, and they came back Lauren Shell, Jason, can you walk us through that for us?
Yeah, well, it was just an incredible goal here. I mean, we saw Simone Bednarik, who we heard of earlier, just working things along the side, along the outside, and Lauren Shell just a slap shot and a kiss and a prayer, and it went in, found the bottom of the net, and that's the reason why Oswego finds themselves up 2-1.
Yeah. Anything to say about the goal? It was pretty.
It really was. Honestly, goalie Molly Gorsick. Yes. She's doing a great job. She really is. But it was a clean goal. They got her good, and I think that's what it's about. It's about being clean and about getting them in where they least expect it.
Yeah. And talking about goalies, we're gonna do a little the players to watch that we said in the beginning. A little update on them. And Lexi Levy, she had 13 shots at her, 1 went by. But she's playing an outstanding game. There's tough. Cortland's getting good looks. They're getting good looks at the net. But Lexi Levy has been standing tall and playing very well. Your guys' players to watch, how are they doing?
Yeah, Rachel Corbett doing a nice job thus far. Already registered an assist in the first period. Leads Oswego in shots taken at 7. So she's been all over the ice and a key contributor for this Laker team.
You know, my player to watch was Jenna Majewski. I told you it's all about her energy. It's about how bad she wants it, how hard she fights. And I think with this game being so close going forward, I think I'm going to see a lot more from her, and I'm excited to see that. She's been playing a clean game like everyone else. She had 1 save so far, and I'm looking forward to seeing her energy going forward.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think the key for Oswego in that second period, was really taking control offensively and being able to drive past the Cortland defenders. We saw Cortland really dominate the time possession in that first period, but really in the second, Oswego was able to slow things down and really get into their offensive set, and that's the reason why they had so many looks. They had a lot of opportunities in that second period, and that's the reason why, because they were able to just escape past the defenders of Cortland. And if you look at the shots on goal for Oswego, they're 10-6. And that's a lot more than we saw in that first period. And that's the reason why. It's just barely escape past the defenders.
Yeah. It's been a goalie showdown for sure. I mean, it's been, we have the 3 goals, but there's been a ton of nice saves tonight.
And speaking of goalies, my Cortland player to watch was Molly Gorgon, the Cortland goalie. And she, despite the 2 goals she let in, she is still at a .9 save percentage.
Yeah.
So she's still doing a really great job despite the goals that she's let in.
All right, so if you guys had some words, if you were the coach in the locker room right now, what are you telling the teams? You want to go with Cortland and then you do Oswego?
I'll do Oswego.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, sure. Well, if I'm the Cortland coach and going into this final period, I'm saying to my women in the locker room, listen, this is it. This is a playoff game. This is a SUNYAC championship. We saw these teams so many times before. Last time the Lakers beat us up. We have to respond. We have to be physical, continue our physicality, and continue to play tight defensively, and just continue to play our offensive set, and we will get shots. When we get them, we have to make sure that we take advantage of the opportunities presented in front of us.
Yeah, if I were in that Oswego locker room, I would be telling those girls right now to keep their spirits high, but not too high. They don't let their egos get ahead of them. Stay confident, but be realistic. It's only a 1-goal advantage. You can't get too ahead of yourselves. Keep playing clean. Do not get sloppy, because if one of these teams slips up, if one of them gets sloppy, that will cost them the entire game and maybe even the SUNYAC championship.
Yeah. Well, do you guys think it's going to stay defensively? Do you guys think it's going to get more aggressive? I mean, Cortland down 2-1. It's been an aggressive game. Do they continue to be aggressive? Do they try a new game plan and try to hone it back a little bit? What do you expect to see in this game?
I think they're going to come back more aggressive than ever.
Yeah.
They both want it so bad, and you can tell that. And I think it's going to get so much more aggressive. I think that momentum from these first 2 periods is just going to combust.
Yeah, I think an interesting thing we haven't brought up is fatigue. How much is fatigue going to play a factor, especially in this closing period? So I'm looking more forward to a less physical game, but more who can execute their offense more effectively in this final period.
Yeah, right. Do we talk about score predictions, or are we gonna 5-1 still alive? It doesn't look so outlandish now. I mean, Oswego comes out 3 goals. I think it happens.
You know how I feel about that 5-1. I
can't wait.
It's close. It's gonna be a close game.
It's very close. I like your guys' score predictions better. I'll concede. I'll concede on 5-1. I don't think it's gonna happen. Whatever.
I mean, don't concede quite yet, but you still there's 1 more period left.
Yeah.
But
and one of the things I didn't mention in my score prediction, I think it's going to be an overtime game. So I
There we
think
go. That'd be fun.
think Cortland responds in this third period and sends into overtime and a thriller.
That'd be fun.
Now, why would you say that? That's it's like saying Macbeth in a theater. Like you do not say that word in an arena.
Right.
I think you might have just jinxed
Analyst
it.
jinx.
We'll see. We'll see. All right. Well, that's all enough for us. We might see you in overtime. We might see you at the end of regulation. We will see. But 2-1, Oswego leads. Going to be a great third period. We'll see you next. Puck drop for the third is next on WTOP 10.
We're here for you, we're here for you. This is your channel 2. With sports and news and what to do, we're here for you. It's your TV, you're watching WTOP. Your TV, thanks for watching WTOP.
What's going on?
Yeah, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Matt, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man. Whoa. You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow. Get a close up of that one.
Matthew,
Broadcast
look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to Major Discussions.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Sports. My name is Rob Finger alongside Matt Johnson. We're back at the Deborah F. Stanley Arena for period 3 of action between your Oswego State Lakers and the Cortland Red Dragons. The score after 40, 2-1 Oswego. And we will get things going fairly quickly here from the Deb with period number 3. Pinty, though, getting it off the near side. And Cortland will look to dump it in. Here comes Katie Mahoney. Quick shot turned away by the pad of Lexi Levy. Down below the goal line. Parenti. Oh, coming out with it though is Mahoney. In the corner. Coley and Parenti putting on some pressure. Coley though holding her ground. Simone Bednarek able to help her out. Bednarek now for Pinty. Now for Mac Hull on the far side. Hull tried to get it over Bednarek, but instead it's off the stick of Fanny Anneborn. Here comes Mahoney the other way. Katie Mahoney in the zone. Got some space right on Lexi Levy, but not able to take the shot because of the stick of Lauren Shell. Shell in the far corner. Putting on a hit. Gives it to Mac Hull. Long up now for Ashley McGrath. McGrath off the far boards. It'll go all the way back into the Cortland end. We will wave off the icing. Grabbing that, Jillian Zwolak. Zwolak for Taryn Risenen. Risenen now for Megan Kramer. Kramer dumping it in, right in on Lauren Shell. It'll go off of her and into the hands of Ashley McGrath. McGrath now for Kirkostas. Kirkostas a shot! Gloved out by the waiting hand of Molly Gorgon.
Nice opportunity there from the captain, Kirkostas. We got face off here in the offensive zone for the Lakers.
Yeah, face off to the right of Molly Gorgon. And we have a little bit of a scoring change here as Mac Hull was awarded the goal that Lauren Shell was originally given. So that second goal instead will go to Mac Hull on the final score sheet. Helen Van Dam dumping it all the way around for McGrath. McGrath sending it around towards Kirkostas. She'll have to chase after it though. Kirkostas now on the near boards. Into the hands of Jillian Dinsmore. Kirkostas though laying a hit. And they'll go into the hands of Ella Iwinski. Iwinski up now for Kira Cook. Keeping it right in is Asha McGrath. A couple Lakers go to change. And instead it's Megan Smith putting on the pressure. Forechecking Ella Iwinski. Gives it right into Sydney Pinty. Pinty dumping it back in. Stopping that with her stick is Molly Gorgon, leaving that instead for Iwinski, the native of Batavia, Illinois, not quite Batavia, New York. Coming around the other way, Cortland. Around the net of Lexi Levy. Mackenzie Brown, the native of the North Country. Here comes Majewski. Majewski, stolen away instead by Brown. Through the neutral zone she'll come. Majewski trying to steal that. Instead, it's Leah Coley who comes up with it. Coley, and Corbett and Majewski, a little bit of miscommunication there. Corbett coming in, though. Backhander! Save made, though, by Molly Gorgon.
Great chance there by Corbett. She cuts through 2 or 3 Red Dragons, pulls it backhand, just goes right into the chest of Molly Gorgon. However, maybe if she pulls it forehand, it gets a little bit higher, but still overall great effort there, and it'll lead to a zone face-off.
And a little shout rings through the halls of the Deborah F. Stanley Arena, a long-standing tradition here in Oswego, as now back into the neutral zone, grabbing that, Lauren Shell. Around the net of Levy she'll go. Now over for Lizzie Burke. Not able to get it out of the Lakers. Goes over to the near side for Preston, who gets it up for Cooley. Elizabeth Cooley looking to dump it in, but instead it goes back to Preston. She'll try the far side. Taryn Risenen back off those far boards. All the way back into the hands of Lauren Shell again. Now for Cooley on the near side. Cooley up past Tessa Mucha. She tried to get it on her stick, but a little bit too far. It'll go back into the Lakers' end, courtesy of the Red Dragons. Shell all the way around for Lizzie Burke. Burke now up for Tessa Mucha. Hops off her stick. And sending that back in is number 5, Taryn Risenen. Off the near boards for Cooley. Elizabeth Cooley over for Tessa Mucha. Mucha in the zone. Shot! Save made by Molly Gorgon. Cortland grabbing that, sending it all the way over for Simone Bednarek. Bednarek walking in. Shot! Save made by the blocker of Molly Gorgon. I believe that went off a body before it got to her blocker. Bednarek back past Parenti. Parenti not able to grab it off the boards. Instead, it's Mac Hull who will pinch down. Parenti coming up with it off the board. Battle hands it to Mac Hull, who comes around towards the slot. No opportunity there to get a shot off as Bednarek hands it to Jazeel, who hands it back to Bednarek. Bednarek cycling down for Parenti. Parenti under pressure there, kept on the boards by Jillian Zwolak. And the Lakers might want to have looked for a penalty on that certain occasion. Here comes Leah Coley. Coley to Kirkostas. Kirkostas off the backboards. It'll go right towards the net of Molly Gorgon, but unfortunately no Lakers are there to put a stick on it. Over to the near side. Megan Smith around right into the hands of Taryn Risen, and Kirkostas, though, will steal it away momentarily. Risen, though, grabbing that back. It'll go up for Kira Cook and out of the zone. Leah Coley over to the near side here for Megan Smith. Dumping it in for McGrath. McGrath leaves it for Smith. Smith over for Kirkostas on the far side. Kirkostas below the goal line, it'll go into the hands of Jillian Zwolak, though. Off the near boards. Majewski trying to keep it in with a skate. Unfortunately, not quite able to, as Majewski laying a big hit there on Mia Lasnik. Back down for Lexi Levy. Around comes Sydney Pinty with some space. Off the boards for Majewski. Majewski trying to handle it. Instead, it's Jillian Dinsmore sending it right back into the Lakers' end. Leah Coley grabbing it, sending it for Jaden Kelly. Kelly now for Majewski on the near side. Majewski's got some space. She's got Kelly to her left. Majewski sent right in and off the kicking pad of Molly Gorgon. And out of the zone it'll go from the Red Dragons. Preston over for Lauren Shell. It'll go all the way back into the zone. And that will be another icing with 14:09 still left to go in period number 3.
A couple nice chances there stopped by the Red Dragons. Able to really hold their defense, as we'll see here. There's a nice opportunity for the Lakers, but luckily the defense has just been able to hold up for the Red Dragons for the most part tonight, and it's making it pretty clear that in this third period they're going to be locked down and really try and make the most, as there's a whistle there. Bit of an eager start there for the face-off in the Lakers offensive zone. But overall, great job there by the Lakers, keeping it in their offensive zone, and a big hit laid by Majewski that we saw earlier as well. Really applying the physicality, saying you're going to play physical defense and we'll play physical offense.
Absolutely. Is that hit from Majewski as well? Cortland was looking for a penalty on that, but unfortunately they will not get it, as number 29, Kayla Persinger, unable to keep it in the zone, as she'll have to go all the way back into the Red Dragons' end for it. Corbett putting on pressure. Here comes Jocelyn Drayson. Drayson, tried to make a move. Another shot. It goes wide. Aisley Delacourt sending it back below the goal line. In for Drayson. The Texan. Around the far boards it goes for Lizzie Burke. Burke for Cooley. Cooley towards Tessa Mucha, but a little bit far from her. Hands it right into the Red Dragons' hands, and they'll send it back into the Lakers' end. Cooley trying to make up for her mistake, as Preston will get it off the boards and try to get it out of the zone. Mucha's not able to forward it out. It'll go back to about the hash marks. Towards the center, Lizzie Burke's able to get her stick on it and get it out of harm's way. Now up for Cooley. Cooley to Mucha as they break out. Here come the Lakers. Dumping it in over the blue line. Lizzie Burke will do the forechecking. Simone Bednarek coming off the boards here. Bednarek around to the far side, up for Helen Van Dam this time. Van Dam sends it back around for Parenti. Erica Parenti, getting tripped up there by Ella Iwinski. As grabbing that are the Cortland Red Dragons. They will send it out courtesy of Haley Hunter. But not too far, as Van Dam's able to get her stick back on it. Handing it over to Shea Jazeel. Jazeel for Bednarek. Bednarek now up towards Riley for Erica Parenti. Matt Hull tried to get a shot on. She'll handle it, though, in the Red Dragons' end. Matt Hull coming around, leaves it for Shea Jazeel. Jazeel, losing it at the near boards. And here comes Cortland the other way. Simone Bednarek trying to stop him at the red line. Is able to stop him at the blue line and send it all the way back down the other way. Taryn Risenen picking it up for the Red Dragons. Off the far boards it'll go past Katie Mahoney. Here come the Red Dragons into the zone. Not able to get a shot on before it goes below the goal line. Sophia Kirkostas coming out with it. Long with some space over the red line. Hands it towards McGrath. Instead it'll go for Taryn Risenen all the way around. Delacourt up for Kopech. Now for Pinty. Going back the other way of the Red Dragons. Mia Lasnik. Shot. Kicked away by Lexi Levy. Megan Smith gets it out. Kayla Persinger around the other way. Lexi Levy's leaving that instead for Leah Coley. Rachel Corbett in the zone she'll go, dumping it in. Back below the goal line for Kayla Persinger. Corbett, though, and Megan Smith able to put some pressure on. As keeping it in is Jenna Majewski. Rachel Corbett with it now. Off the stick there of Persinger, back below the goal line. Majewski pinches into the near corner. Nia Lasnik. Ooh, gets it stolen away momentarily. He sends it over the near boards, though, for Megan Kramer, who gets it all the way down the river the other way. And that will be an icing with 10:56 left to go in this third period, just about halfway through here, Matt.
It's been a bit quiet with the icings. That 10.5 isn't looking too bad right now, Rob. But some nice back and forth actions from both teams there. Some great shot opportunities as well. Like I brought up earlier, it really looks like the Red Dragons have found a second spark, almost like a second wind in this third, and really pushing forward, trying to end this differential.
Well, they will certainly need it, as they unfortunately are running out of time to even the score here. Lauren Schell now up for Jenna Majewski. Majewski back up the boards for Jaden Kelly. Kelly gets it past the Red Dragons, but their defense is able to send it over to the far side. Riley Preston. Preston for Schell. Schell back up for Mucha. Tessa Mucha into the zone. Looking over her options, trying to get it across to Mac Hull, but unfortunately the redirection will send it below the goal line. Mac Hull coming back up the boards for it. Cycling it down to Elizabeth Cooley. Cooley grabbing that instead. It's Tessa Mucha sending it back below the goal line. Off the glass it'll go. And out of the zone, Shea Jazeel will dump it in. Off the body of Elizabeth Cooley, though, as she wasn't quite out of the zone. So we'll have an neutral zone face-off here.
Yeah, that was a close one. They were not able to stay off the blue line, however. Very obvious, can't do that. That's an offsides all day.
10:06 left to go in this third period of play. 2-1 the score. Face-off won back technically by the Lakers, but a little bit rough as they're able to get it off the near boards here. Mucha trying to get it for Cooley, but it's Tessa Mucha sending it back off those near boards and into the Cortland end. Mackenzie Brown, long all the way around for Katie Diem. Diem dumping it in. Lexi Levy stopping it behind her net, leaving that for Leah Coley. Coley's got some space, unfortunately, though, under pressure from Cortland early as Simone Bednarek now gets it through the neutral zone. Bednarek in the zone, coming around. Tries to wrap it, fake to drop there. She'll hand it to Leah Coley. Coley walking in, shot right towards the stick of Mac Hull, but she's not able to redirect it into the net. Sydney Pinty, though, a shot blocked away by Molly Gorgon again. Bednarek just able to keep it in, sends it down for Parenti below the goal line. The Lakers will get a little change here. Parenti reversing for Hull. Mac Hull in the far corner. Under pressure from the Red Dragons, Jillian Dinsmore sends it all the way around. Bednarek, though, keeping it in. Down past Parenti, she's not able to grab it off the boards. Ella Iwinski, though, will grab it for Cortland, sending it all the way down into the Lakers' end. Preston getting it off the boards. The Lakers are able to get it out with some speed. As Ashley McGrath trying to go around and cut off that pass across. Megan Smith now with it. Sends it over for Lauren Schell, who will dump it in. Schell all the way around past Megan Smith as he goes into the hands of the Cortland Red Dragons once again. Oh, off the body of Sophia Kirkostas. And nonetheless, it'll go out of the zone. McGrath will send it back in, though. Right in on Molly Gorgon, and she will choose to cover and get a stoppage of play here with 8:15 now left to go in this third period. No, we'll send it down to Michelle Smith down in the corner. Michelle, what do you have for us now?
Mac Hull scored that second Lakers goal in the second period today. We did grab the wrong person. She had an assist, Shell did. So let's give a little moment to Hull here. She scored at even strength. She has 11 goals on the season now as we're headed into the SUNYAC playoffs.
Oh, absolutely. Mac Hull, a force to be reckoned with on these Oswego State Lakers. She leads in both the scoring category and the points category coming into this game. And even, I believe, an even 10 for goals, 12 for assists. But boy, oh boy, have she been a force to be reckoned with, like I said. Over to the near boards, the puck will go. We will play on. Ainsley Delacourt sending it back over for Kayla Persinger. Delacourt will handle it. Over towards Shea Jazeel on the near side. And able to dump it into the zone is Katie Diem. Over Rachel Corbett. Corbett high up towards Jaden Kelly. She's able to forward it into the zone, but right into the hands of Ainsley Delacourt. Delacourt up for Mackenzie Brown in the zone. They'll come. Stopping there, looking for an option as the Red Dragons come in. A quick shot blocked away by the chest of Lexi Levy. As Cortland sending it all the way back around. Jillian Zwolak trying to get a shot off, and she does, but unfortunately way wide. That one will go. Jaden Kelly up off the boards from Cooley. They'll chase all the way down for it. Elizabeth Cooley and Lizzie Burke putting on some forechecking. Over to the far side it'll go. Katie Diem. Over now for Mackenzie Brown. Down below the goal line of the Lakers' end. Back up now for Elizabeth Cooley. She hands it right into the hands of Mia Hlasnik. Grace Caracas up for Shell. Able to chip it out. Here comes Lauren Shell. I believe instead that was Lizzie Burke. Unfortunately, 15 instead of 25. Tessa Mucha, though. Back below the goal line. Getting it for Simone Bednarek. She tried to get it up the boards, but instead she'll send it over to the far side for a little bit more room. Mac Hull looking to just eat whatever time is left on that board. Just waste the time of the Cortland Red Dragons. Simone Bednarek with Mac Hull. 2-on-2 here going into the zone. Bednarek trying to get around the defender, but Jillian Zwolak able to get her stick right in on Bednarek, denying any sort of pass or shot. Molly Gorgon sending it over to the far side. Parenti looking to steal it away, but Cortland's able to get it out. Grace Caracas dumping it in. Lauren Shell, though, taking it. Preston now up towards, right into the hands of Katie Mahoney. She'll walk across. Oh, and won't get a solid shot. She'll get a shot, but it will redirect up into the waiting glove of Lexi Levy with 5:23 left to go in this third period of play.
And Rob, time is winding down. Like you just said, not many more opportunities the Red Dragons are going to have here. They're trying to make the most of what they can, but it looks like the force of Lexi Levy is just as unstoppable as it's been all season here tonight.
Lizzie Burke getting it off the boards. Megan Smith trying to help her out. Shea Jazeel and Sophia Kirkostas locked in a board battle right in front of the penalty boxes here. Nothing will move it, and that means we will get a whistle here, and they will deem that they will have the face-off in the zone instead of being out of the zone, which was the near face-off dot.
Yeah, a quick stoppage of play there. Let everyone gather themselves, and we'll just get another face-off here.
5:04 left to go in this third period of play. Cortland will win that face-off back, sending it all the way around the other side over to the far corner. Up to the point. Quick shot. No, doesn't quite reach Levy, but instead it'll go momentarily onto the stick of Katie Mahoney. Mahoney, though, trying to keep it in the zone now, but it's Helen Van Dam coming the other way. Here comes Van Dam with McGrath. Van Dam tried to send it across, but it's redirected away by Kayla Persinger. Off the boards, it'll go all the way down the river into the Lakers' end. Smith coming around the far side, off the far glass. Trying to forward it out was Corbett, but instead it'll go back to Sydney Pinty. Pinty coming around, gets that back over for Leah Coley. Coley for Corbett. Back off the boards there. Megan Smith having to go for it. Instead, it'll go back up the boards into the hands of Drew Kopech. Kopech for Risenen. Risenen now up for Diem. Diem in the zone. Poked away by Leah Coley. Off the glass it'll go. Oh, and hopping over the stick of Taryn Risenen, who cannot keep it in. Less than 4 minutes left to go. Corbett, fanning on that one as she just had a golden opportunity to take it away from Taryn Risenen. Here comes Cortland into the zone. And on Lexi Levy, a shot. Save made by the goaltender in yellow. Rachel Corbett high over several different players, but not quite out of the zone. Now she'll get it. Pinty now up instead for Jocelyn Drayson. to the middle. Elizabeth Cooley dumping it in. Lizzie Burke will grab it. Up now for Tessa Mucha. Mucha for Preston. A shot! Save made by Gorgon. It'll go to the near boards. Grace Karakis tending to get it up to Mia Lasnik there, but Preston will send it back in. Below the goal line, it'll go for Zwolak. For Mucha now. Tessa Mucha in the near corner. Up the board, she comes with it. Looking over her options, gets it to Preston, who gets it back to Mucha. Tessa Mucha back towards Burke, but instead it'll go to Elizabeth Cooley below the goal line. Mia Lasnik will pick it up for Cortland. Over all the way to the near side here, Riley Preston sending that in as Mac Hull made smart play not to play in front of the bench here as she had just changed, and that would have been too many players on the ice. Hopping along the blue line now, Bednarik over for Parenti. She's not able to get a shot as it redirects right to the waiting hand of Molly Gorgon.
Centering pass there, broken up. Would have been a great opportunity to put the nail in the coffin on this one here, but just able to break it up, slides through to Molly Gorgon for an easy save. Lakers will get an offensive zone face-off, but boy, it would have been nice if they could have had a real shot to make it 3-1 here with just about 2.5 left.
Yeah, like we said earlier, Cortland running out of time to make an effort in this game. That's coming back through the neutral zone of the Red Dragons. Grabbing that, Katie Mahoney. Mahoney protecting that. Shea Jazeel looking to take it away as Ainsley Delacour puts a shot on it, goes wide. Over to the near boards, Van Dam looking to grab it. Katie Mahoney still with it. It's Van Dam comes up with it. Looks to reverse it though, as Jazeel takes a hack at it. Instead, going back up, Persinger, a shot goes wide. Turned away by Lexi Levy. Jazeel back around over towards Persinger on the far side. Sends it right on in, but blocked by the body of Helen Van Dam. Out of the zone it'll go. Coming in is Ainsley Delacour. The Lakers will keep her outside of scoring tension here. Shot, save made, it's still there though, they score! Katie Diem makes it a 2-2 contest with 1.5 minutes to go.
And what a job by the Red Dragons there, Rob. Crushing the net, crowding the crease. Puck is loose, it does not matter. The game is on the line. And the Lakers were holding their own that entire offensive possession. As we see right here, it just happens to slip right past Levy again. Same mistake she made late in the second. But they're blocking shots. You had Mac Hull, 2 blocks. Block after block, and at the end of the day, ends up going in the back of the net for a tie game late here in this third.
And with 1:10 left to go in this third period, overtime is now a very real possibility. Leah Coley grabbing it off the far boards. 1 minute remains here from the Deborah F. Stanley Arena. Leah Coley, though, looking to avoid overtime. Sends it across for Kirkostas. A shot goes over the net. Jaden Kelly keeping it in. Kelly looking around. Does not find a Laker. Instead, it'll be Ella Iwinski taking it away. Here comes Cortland the other way. Sydney Pinty. Oh, a little bit of communication there as it goes back into the Lakers' end. Lauren Schell, 30 seconds left. Jenna Majewski off the glass, it'll go, and the referees will rule that being out of play, as I believe it touched the padding on the stanchion to the left of the man in the penalty box there.
Yeah, and an impressive period here for the Red Dragons. Just dominating on all ends so far, trying to push ahead, and it's worked out for them. We got a tie game here, folks. Time is winding down too.
Sending it in are the Cortland Red Dragons. Helen Van Dam across for Lauren Schell. Cortland up for Ainsley Delacour. They'll send it back to Annaborn. 10 seconds left in regulation. A shot, save made by Lexi Levy. $1 million chance for Katie Mahoney, and she comes up short.
Oh my goodness, sniffing for her second goal of the night, trying to get that go-ahead score for the Red Dragons here. After a beautiful little tic-tac-toe in the offensive zone, bring it behind the net, shoot a centering pass right through to the slot. Holds on to it a little too long, trying to go top cheddar. It doesn't work out. Great save by Lexi Levy as they'll call a timeout here with just about 7 seconds left in the third, Rob.
7 seconds remain on the board. The shots are just about as even as they come. 22 on the board for the Lakers, 21 on the board for the Cortland Red Dragons, and we are knotted at 2 apiece. Like I said, 7 seconds left in a contest like this, and you got to wonder what's going through the head of a man like Rick Filigera over there on the far side for the Cortland Red Dragons. His team is just to even the score with 1.5 minutes left in regulation, and he will want to take advantage of this sudden swing of momentum for his Cortland team, and as well for Mark Digby on the other side for the Oswego State Lakers. He'll be wanting to get something going for his Oswego State Lakers, who, as of, like I said, 1.5 minutes ago, had the lead, and we're going to win this in regulation, but a 1-goal game is never out of reach for any single team.
And a big face-off here in the Cortland offensive zone, and something they've been lacking on for a majority of the game, but not by much. With the game on the line, let's see if they can make a big moment here.
Tied up 1 to the boards. Lauren Schell will eat the time. And speaking of time, it's time for overtime.
Impressive 60 minutes of hockey there, Rob. One of the, if not the best game I think we've seen out of both of these teams all season long. You can tell that they're really playing for something tonight. They know that that SUNYAC reputation is on the line. Playoffs around the corner. Lakers trying to hold that 1 seed. Cortland trying to push up in the rankings. And we got a deadlock game here, 22-25 shots on goal being led by Oswego. I'm excited for overtime, Rob. I don't know about you, but I am excited.
Absolutely. Flashbacks to the women's whiteout, where Oswego played the Plattsburgh State Cardinals in this very arena. And after regulation, that score that you see on the screen was the very same for another team in red. But on that day, it was the Oswego State Lakers who came out with the victory in a shootout. Can Cortland buck the trend? 2-2 is the score going into a 5-minute overtime, and after that, we will have a shootout. But if it has to go to the shootout, well, unfortunately, it will be registered as a tie in the standings.
And if we go to a shootout, Rob, we could be here all night the way that these 2 goaltenders have been playing. Just absolutely dialed in for all 60 minutes of play. Couple mistakes here and there from both of them, but they're human between those posts, we need to remember. But an absolute phenomenal job as they'll break here for the start of overtime. The Lakers, both offensively and defensively this entire game, have been very shocking for me, Rob. They're leading by over 10 shots blocked compared to Cortland's 7. They have 17 themselves, and a lot of those blocks coming from players that you wouldn't expect to be stepping up on the defensive side of the ice. We got Mac Hull bringing in 3 blocked shots just from that last offensive possession on Cortland's side. And you even have players like Majewski who are bringing in a great defensive presence today. She had that big hit earlier. She's been using her size to her advantage, and it's been an incredible disadvantage on that side of the puck when they're able to do that. But we're hoping here in overtime we can see some nice even play, as Cortland's obviously been pushing the puck themselves. Like we said, they were playing for something in that third, Rob. They were skating that extra stride. They were giving that extra push against the boards. They know what's on the line here tonight, and it shows in their determination. We're deadlocked at 2. About to start overtime. It's going to be an exciting one for sure.
It'll be 3-on-3 for 5 minutes, and if that can't solve anything, we will go to the skills competition. Mac Hull, Simone Bednarik, and number 25, Lauren Schell, have been put on for the Oswego State Lakers, and for Cortland, right there on your screen. Mia Lasnik, Katie Mahoney, and Ainsley Delacour is the choice from Rick Filigera over on the Cortland bench. On this Oswego bench, Mark Digby, you've hoped that he'd come up with some sort of plan for something like this, so that unlike that Plattsburgh game so long ago, it seems, it does not end in a shootout, because this team, to secure first in the SUNYAC, needs a regulation win, or needs any sort of win for the 2 points that they can give. That will put them over the Plattsburgh State Cardinals, who themselves have ended their regular season. 5 minutes on the board, 3-on-3 action, and we are underway for overtime from the Deborah F. Stanley Arena. Mac Hull taking it into the zone. Bednarik now with it. Simone Bednarik poked away instead by Mia Lasnik. Bednarik fighting for it. Comes up to Hull, hops over her stick. Oh, and Lexi Levy comes long out of her own net. Sends it over to the far side for Bednarik. A bold move from Lexi Levy that I have seen many goaltenders try, and some get bitten in the rear for it. Bednarik over for Hull. Hull chooses to go back to Bednarik. Now over for Sydney Pinty on the far side. Pinty protecting it while the two others change. Pinty with some space now. She'll choose to send it over to Smith. Megan Smith on the far side. Now up for Ashley McGrath. She's got space. In on Gorgon. Shot. Oh, she's not able to get the shot off. Over to Megan Smith now. They've got an opportunity. Leaves it for Pinty. A big shot off the leg of Kayla Persinger. Megan Smith around the circle she comes. 3-on-3 means open ice. Megan Smith using it all. Smith down for McGrath. McGrath taking it out of the zone. And Smith will get changed for Kelly. Pinty now. Pinty back up the boards towards Ashley McGrath, but here comes Cortland the other way, off the stick of Pinty and into the hands of McGrath. McGrath just trying to get it out of the zone. Cortland will possess. Persinger over to the far side for Jocelyn Drayson. Drayson making a move around Jaden Kelly, but not quite 100% made as Pinty sends it over for Corbett. Corbett in the zone. Coming around, lets the rest of her team come back in. Up to Van Dam at the very top. Van Dam off the stick of Jaden Kelly, but right in on Molly Gorgon, who covers that one up.
A lot of action here from the Lakers to start off this overtime. We've got about 3 minutes left with it. Great shot opportunity by McGrath. She tries pulling it backhand, whiffs it just a little bit. Not able to get the stick on the puck enough there. Would have been a great go-ahead opportunity in this overtime. But we play on in the offensive zone for the Lakers with a face-off right here, Rob.
3 minutes left to go in overtime as Corbett walks in. Quick shot, oh, off the skate there of Fanny Anneborn. Corbett now over Van Dam. Van Dam drops for Corbett. They'll shuffle around. Corbett coming across. She'll circle back, looking for a better opportunity. She's got time, she's got space. Rachel Corbett along the blue line. She'll come all the way out of the zone for a little bit more of that space. Over for Simone Bednarik. She'll get a change herself, and so does Van Dam. Here comes Simone Bednarik with some space. Has Hull to her right. Oh, but Mac Hull was half a stride over the blue line.
Close call there by the referee. That could be a make or break call right there. It's as simple as a centimeter, Rob. You never know when they could be blowing that whistle on you, but you're going to get a neutral zone face-off here after that offside, and we'll continue play with about 2.5 left.
2:25 left to go in overtime as here comes Cortland the other way. Milasnik over now for Ainsley Delacour. Delacour through the middle here, hands it to Katie Mahoney. Stolen away, here comes Mac Hull. One-on-one with Delacour. Chooses to send it towards the center, but right into the hands of Mia Lasnik. Here comes Cortland with the other 25 on the ice in hot pursuit. Lauren Schell is able to knock it away from her. Up the boards it'll go. Back towards Lasnik. Up towards Delacour now. Delacour back down to Lasnik. Lasnik. Oh, Delacour blows a tire there on completely of her own volition. Tries to set up a give and go with Lasnik, but Shell's able to take it over off the far boards. Oh, sends it towards the center, but Lauren Shell, just trying to get that half step. And these Lakers need a change here, and two of them will go grab it. McGrath comes off for Hull. Pinty comes off for Shell. Bednarik back to Sydney Pinty below the goal line, behind the net of Lexi Levy. Sydney Pinty under a lot of pressure from Katie Diem. She'll forecheck however she wants. Off the glass it'll go. 1 minute remains. Kayla Persinger around for Cortland. Here come the Red Dragons. Through the middle, three abreast. Persinger now across for Drayson. Bassett Persinger, shot turned away by Lexi Levy. Sydney Pinty grabs it. Now up for Ashley McGrath. Oh, it goes past her stick, but she'll be out the icing. Gorgon comes around, sends it over to the near side. Picking it up is Jocelyn Drayson. Jocelyn picking it up is Smith. Now for Pinty. Pinty for Corbett. Corbett now one-on-one looking for some sort of help. Corbett comes back in the zone. Gets around Fanny Anneborn. In on Gorgon. Oh, poking it away is Jillian Zwolak. Down for Corbett. 10 seconds remain. Corbett around the circle. She's got to shoot. Corbett for Van Dam. 3 seconds. Right for Jaden Kelly, but not enough time remains. And we will go to a shootout.
5-on-5 wasn't enough. 3-on-3 wasn't enough. It'll have to be 1-on-1 to determine this one, Rob. Just the goalie and the puck will determine this game. And who else to have than debatably the two best goalies in the SUNYAC division to be facing off in such a high-stakes game, and for it to come to the result of a shootout after, dare I say, a pretty lackluster overtime. A lot of back and forth, time on possession dominated by the Lakers there for the most part. And like we said, it'll have to go to a shootout. Wasn't enough in regulation. These two teams are just too competitive to be able to finish it off in regular style. They need to end it with a bang.
And you mentioned the goaltenders. That woman right there, Molly Gorgon, possibly the only rival for that woman right there, Lexi Levy. Lexi Levy, easily one of, if not the greatest goaltenders that the Oswego State women's hockey program has ever put forward. Molly Gorgon will take up the other net. And out first are the Cortland Red Dragons. Number 25, Mia Lasnik, over from Olean in the state of New York. Here comes Lasnik. Over the blue line, past the top of the circles. Save made by Lexi Levy.
Great heads-up play there by Lexi Levy. Snags it with the glove. It wasn't enough for the captain to be able to get the go-ahead goal in this shootout, as it looks like the Lakers will send out their first skater for this shootout. And it's looking like it's going to be none other than the goal scorer to start off, Simone Bednarek.
Simone Bednarek, the member of the Slovakian national team, comes in on Gorgon. Scores! Simone Bednarek.
How do you like that, Rob? Top of the line goal, goes right over Molly Gorgon, and who else but the Lakers assistant captain to be able to bang in the go-ahead goal, as she bangs the go-ahead goal for this match for the Lakers to tie it up early on.
Katie Mahoney, the native of Toronto, stopped by the side of the net.
Wow, you can just see the life leave the eyes of the Red Dragons over on their side of the bench. A devastating break there, just rings on the outside of that post. Katie Mahoney, another person who had a great impact on this game early on. She scored that go-ahead goal for Cortland.
Mac Hull, the X Factor as I call her. In on Gorgon, wide. Just that little margin in a shot like that Then we will go to round 3.
It's looking like Cortland's going to have Drew Kokep out here as their third skater. She's got 10 goals on the season. Can she get one here to tie it up?
Drew Kopech, the native of Rome, coming in on Levy. Save made by Lexi Levy. And that'll do it. Final score from the Deborah F. Stanley Arena. 3 for the Oswego State Lakers. 2 for the Cortland Red Dragons.
And the bench is clear. They all crowd their face of the team who's been putting them on a pedestal all season long. Lexi Levy gets shown some love by her teammates as they line up and shake hands here. What a fantastic game we had here tonight, Rob. Truly a battle of the best in the SUNYAC division. And the Lakers prove why they've been sitting in the #1 seed for most of this season here tonight, with not only their determination, but their skill overall, outmastering the Red Dragons.
And Lexi Levy comes up big in the shootout. What a game it was from both teams, down to the wire, as down to the wire as a game can possibly get here, Matt.
Definitely, and you love to see that their 2 shootout victories are against 2 of their rivals, both wearing red and white. A little bit of black in there too. Makes you wonder, can we see a similar matchup with the same teams in the playoffs that are coming right around the corner, Rob? And you know what? I think we will. And you know what? I think Cortland's going to come with a bit of vengeance in that playoff game if the opportunity rises for them to get a little get back. They've lost 2 this year to Cortland, or to Oswego, I should say, and Cortland's not used to that. That's not a pattern that they're used to this season. It's been a different type of Lakers team, though, possibly, if I may say, the best we've seen in a very long time.
And you mentioned get back, you mentioned revenge. Well, it could come as soon as tomorrow, as both of these teams will travel down to Cortland, the Crown City, for a rematch in the house of the Red Dragons. Lexi Levy getting the second star of the game here. Getting applause from her team in the middle. The #1 star, Simone Bednarek. What a game played by her, and what a game played by that entire team right there. The Oswego State Lakers taking victory today in the shootout. And what a shootout it was. Both goaltenders standing tall. I believe only 1 goal registered from either team, but nonetheless, what a game it has been. We'll send it now down to Michelle Smith, who's down at ice level with Simone Bednarek, our first star of the game. We'll send it down to Michelle at ice level.
Thanks, guys. We're back with Simone Bednarek. She just tied it up and won it in the shootout, which, again, advances us in points for the Lakers. How does it feel? You had a heck of a season, your second to last game on the season, to score that goal for your team.
Oh, it feels awesome. I've never scored a shootout goal before in my life, so this is a great first one. It was a great feeling. I mean, couldn't have done it without the team, so it was awesome.
Amazing. Congratulations on your first shootout goal. Tomorrow you'll be heading up to Cortland to play in your final game of the season before the playoffs. I know I already asked you about this a little bit earlier, but after such an electric goal for you and your team, what's the vibe? What do you expect from your coaches and the locker room when you go in there in a minute?
I mean, obviously we're going to celebrate. We're league champs, which is first time in history. We got numbers on the banner, so we're going to celebrate for a couple minutes, and then we're going to start thinking about the game tomorrow, because the game tomorrow is just as important as the one today. But yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to be happy with our victory, but we're going to get our heads set for tomorrow.
I love it. And final question for you tonight before you go to have that celebration. You're ranked 4th, as the team is ranked 4th in the nation currently. What was that like, finding that out, going into this game, having that celebration with your team?
It was awesome. I mean, every week we're bumping up spots in the standings, so every week it's a surprise. And I mean, not a surprise, but every week it's really awesome to see that we're growing with our wins and everything. I mean, it's awesome. I've never had a season like this with this team, so being able to be that team that starts this like ride for Oswego, it's awesome.
Congratulations again. Thank you for your time and enjoy your celebration. Thanks. Back up to the guys on the perch.
Thank you very much, Michelle. Well, that'll do it for our game here from the Deborah F. Stanley Arena. The final score, once again, 3 for the Lakers, 2 for the Cortland Red Dragons. Another shootout win for the Oswego State Lakers. For Matt Johnson, I've been Rob Finger. Don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have our post-game report right here. Don't leave it. We're watching WTOP 10 right here.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man. Whoa. You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow. Get a close up of that one.
Matthew,
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
Well, we welcome you in to the Deborah F. Stanley Arena. Overtime was so much fun. Lakers win 3-2. Guys, what do we think?
Wow, what a game. I mean, just an exciting third period, great back and forth action, and this is what it's all about, right? Playoff hockey. This felt like a playoff game, and just an incredible atmosphere, an incredible win for the Lakers, just not giving up at all.
Yeah, I was on the edge of my seat that entire time. Yeah. During that shootout, if you guys saw me, I was glued to that railing over there. Yes. That was one of the craziest Laker wins I've seen this season. That was an incredible game. Both teams were so strong. Both teams wanted it. They played clean games, no penalties. It was a really, really fun game to watch.
Yeah, and I think it just caps off the amazing season for the girls, and just a great season overall and a great win today. So we recapped the goals. We had 3-2, and then we had the shootout goals as well. I mean, it was a fun matchup, and the goals were fun. Any thoughts on a specific goal that stood out to you guys?
Yeah, I mean, Oswego went into the third period with a 1-goal lead. It was 2-1, and then with, I want to say, a minute 30 left on the clock, Cortland, the Red Dragons, made that final goal, tied it up, going into overtime, like you predicted. I said this to Jason off camera, but I said you did not predict that, you caused it. Right. But it was a crazy almost comeback from Cortland. They wanted it bad.
Yeah, I think Katie Diem was really big for Cortland in that third period, scoring the goal to tie things up, and she was crucial for them in their last win. Scored 2 goals their last game, so she was crucial for them here tonight. And then again, I mean, overtime, just Lexi Levy standing strong, standing tall, and doing just a great job. I mean, just incredible work from her in the shootout.
Yeah, Lexi Levy was phenomenal tonight. Phenomenal. 2 goals. Sure, but I mean, the say that she had in her shootout performance, unmatched by Lexi Levy. Okay. So, winning implications, Oswego, I believe they just say that they're clinched #1 seed, correct?
Yeah, they just got the #1 seed. That means there will be a home game here for the playoffs.
Ooh, can't wait for that. And then Cortland is going to stay at the 3 seed. So I think that means they're going to be on the same side of the bracket rematch in the playoffs?
I do. It's quite possible. Yeah, we have a final game here tomorrow on the road at Cortland, but we'll see how everything plays out, and it should be exciting. I mean, I can't wait. Playoff hockey here in the Deborah F. Stanley Arena. It's a dream come true.
Yeah. So tomorrow they are going to Cortland. And, I mean, what do you think's going to happen in that one? Do you think it's going to be the same result? Do you guys have any other predictions for, are they going to split the series, or what do you guys think?
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, I think we might see a couple of backups for Oswego, especially getting the #1 seed clinch. We might see the backup goalie in there. So it'll be interesting to see how they come out.
Yeah, honestly, I think it will be anyone's game. This was so close. I would not be surprised if Cortland made a comeback. I also wouldn't be surprised if Oswego kept going through with that momentum and came home with another win against the
How do they carry in the momentum? I mean, you get the win, you're excited, but it's lock-in time now. I mean, you should celebrate this for 10, 15 minutes, and it's bed and road trip tomorrow. I mean, it's going to be a good one.
Honestly, go to bed.
Yeah.
Right. If I could talk to those girls right now, I would say go to bed. Both teams. Get some rest, because fatigue plays a huge part in
And you can even see
game.
in that third quarter, I mean, in the third period, my apologies, fatigue was a factor. I mean, they looked, it was 0 goals scored. And, you know, in that overtime period, you just get tired.
Oswego's whole game plan in the third period was to play keep away for Cortland to prevent them from having any offensive possessions. But again, I think just again, fatigue playing a factor, because some of those passes were broken up by Cortland defenders, and that's the reason why they were able to find so many good open looks in that third period.
So tomorrow, WTB 10, we are right back at it. The men come. Or the Cortland men's team comes into town, and we will have that game for you. I believe puck drop is at 7 o'clock.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I'll be hosting. So I'll be right back here.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So don't go too far. We'll be right back tomorrow. But as for now, great game. I had a great time with you guys, and Oswego prevails 3-2 in the shootout win. Good night, everyone, here on WTB 10.